here. Certainly in Haryana, not even a single pollster has given you more than 40 seats. Do you think that would be a matter of concern going forward? Even though we know that the pollsters have a tendency of getting Haryana wrong, but still, not even a single pollster giving you more than 38 seats.
So good evening and namaste. Let me reply to that with some numbers. Before 2014, BJP's vote share in Haryana was approximately 10%. In the elections in 2014, it rose to 33%. It continued to rise in 2019 to 36% odd. And in the last general elections, 2024 Lok Sabha elections, BJP's vote share was well above 45%. So if you look at that trend, and add to that some Lok Sabha result comparison between 2019 and 2024, and I will tell you that. In the Jat belt in Haryana, in 2019, BJP had 12 seats in 2019, and in the same area in 2024, BJP actually got 15 seats. If you look at these kind of numbers, one thing is very clear, that BJP is gaining ground in Haryana. Our vote share continues to go up. We have given a stable and good government to the people of Haryana. And lastly and most importantly, when we look at the numbers the exit polls give us, and I'm going to use the example of the last 5 state elections, they tend to get it wrong very often. Today, we are in a position where I can confidently say this. Now, there are 2 factors which are being discussed. One is that are unhappy, but time and time again election results have shown that this seems to be a political conversation of opposition parties. They said it after the farmers' agitation for Uttar Pradesh, but the results showed otherwise. They said it for Haryana, but 2024 Lok Sabha election results showed otherwise in the Jat-dominated areas. And the second conversation is that apart from this, the leadership that BJP has put forward has been very disciplined, very devoted, unlike the Congress camp, which is still washing its dirty linen in public.
So it's interesting, isn't it, Sandeep ji, that you have the BJP sort of doubting the credibility of the exit poll. Generally, we have seen that the BJP more often than not sort of believes what the exit polls have been saying. But these are also the first assembly elections after the surprise Lok Sabha mandate.
To be fair to Charu, I think Charu has been very reasonable in her comments, and yes, a lot that's why I keep saying if and but. So yes, there could be questions about how the exit poll is emerged.
Yes.
Does it show a trend? Does it show a pattern? That's the question. I'm not looking at the actual numbers,
perhaps
but I'm showing a trend that it is showing, and Charu Pragya ji is very, very right in saying that from her party perspective, this doesn't seem to be the trend which they see on the ground. And of course, 8th will decide what actually is the result going to be.
Let me in fact bring in Vivek Chaudhary of the JJP. Chaudhary साहब, 4 में से 3 पोलस्टर्स ने ये कहा है कि आप हरियाणा में अपना खाता ही नहीं खोल रहे हैं. आप कैसे देखते हैं इसको?
नहीं, आज तो मैं धन्यवाद करना चाहूंगा जो भी पोलस्टर्स हैं और जो भी आज सर्वेज आ रहे हैं, जो एग्जिट पोल आ रही है. लास्ट टाइम के अगर हम रिजल्ट की बात करें, एग्जिट पोल की बात करें, तो उस टाइम पे हमें 0 ही दिखाया गया था, पर जो नतीजे आए थे, जो लोगों ने हमें मैंडेट देने का काम किया, वो उससे कई अलग थे. और यही काम अब की बार होने हरियाणा प्रदेश के अंदर जा रहा है. हरियाणा प्रदेश में आप देखिएगा 2 युवा एक साथ मिलकर हरियाणा प्रदेश में युवा सरकार बनाने जा रहे हैं. लास्ट टाइम पे हमें ये कहा गया कुछ नहीं होगा, 0 सीट्स हैं, और उस टाइम पे हमारी नई रवेली पार्टी थी, मात्र 9 महीने पुरानी उस टाइम.
बट इस बार आपकी स्थिति इस पर्सपेक्टिव से भी अलग है कि इस बार आप अलायंस में नहीं लड़ रहे. The BJP is going it alone and so are you. तो उस नजरिए से भी आपकी स्थिति इस बार हरियाणा में अलग है, तो 2019 से कंपेयर नहीं कर सकते.
Who said this? आज कौन कहता है कि हम अलायंस में नहीं है? हम अलायंस में है. एएसपी और जेजेपी का अलायंस है, आजाद समाज पार्टी और जेजेपी का अलायंस है. आज 2 यंग लीडर्स, 2 यूथ आइकन्स एक साथ हैं और बहुत मजबूती से चुनाव लड़ने का काम उन दोनों ने किया. आज हरियाणा प्रदेश के अंदर दलित का और कमेरे का, किसान का और कमेरे का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, वो आपको देखने को मिलेगा. और आने वाले समय में आप देखिएगा, जब 8 तारीख को रिजल्ट आएगा, तो नतीजा कुछ और ही होगा। पिछली बार जब हमें 0 दिखाया गया था, अब तो कुछ चैनल्स ने 2 से 3 पे भी दिखाया। तो मैं तो ये कहता हूँ, जो पिछली बार 0 दिखाया था, हम 10 पे आए, आज अगर 2 से 3 दिखा रहे हैं तो डबल और ट्रिपल होने जा रहे हैं हमारे नंबर्स।
तो आपकी रेंज एकदम ही अलग है। बट लेट मी ब्रिंग इन अनमोल पवार ऑफ द आम आदमी पार्टी एज वेल। Anmol, it's very sort of confident of you to at least come and defend your party here, because while the pollsters still give 2 to 3 seats to the INLD and the JJP, not a single pollster is giving you even a single seat, except Dainik Bhaskar, which says 0 to 1. So, do you think that the Aam Aadmi Party's campaign in Haryana, I mean, you couldn't sustain what was a good start. You did well in the Panchayat polls, but of course there was a complete rout in the Lok Sabha polls, and if these exit polls were to be believed, you're not opening your account at all in Haryana.
Vedant, while the exit polls offer a valuable glimpse into the voter behavior, but they are not infallible. On 8th, when the election results will be announced, the key to Haryana government will be in Arvind Kejriwal ji's hand. And why am I saying this? Because frustrated by years of corruption, deceit and unmet expectations, people have gravitated towards.
No, but let me go back to the point you were making. On what basis do you say that the key to government formation will be in Arvind Kejriwal's hand? You're not even getting a single seat according to these exit polls. They can go wrong to an extent, but not a single pollster is giving you even a single seat.
We have seen that in the past also exit polls have gone wrong. And why am I saying this? Because this 10 years of misgovernance, corruption and deceit and unmet expectations of people of Haryana, they have gravitated towards the Aam Aadmi Party, towards an honest and effective governance which focus on well-being of the citizen. The Arvind Kejriwal model of governance is what has resonated with the people of Haryana. Okay. And had he not been put behind bars, then we would have been in a position to form a government on our own.
Akshat, would you like to comment on this? Because both the JJP and the Aam Aadmi Party seem very confident that they could be potential kingmakers in Haryana, but they've been cut to size completely.
Instead of seat share, again I am saying that seat share maybe they're not the right metric to show the performance of any party. You should look at the vote shares, and we are not seeing it here. But let's say I have my own numbers about Aam Aadmi Party. I know, so they are definitely gaining from the last time.
Yes.
Maybe 1% or 2%. So I agree with them that So I'm not sure how many seats they will get. As per our survey, they might not get like many seats, but definitely they are gaining in terms of vote share. So we should also look a party is growing or not in terms of vote share. So the popularity of party can be measured in terms of vote share.
Sandeep, you have a quick word on that.
It's unfair to expect them on an exit poll day to say that they agree with these numbers, because that would be a very strong departure from the party line. So I think we need to look at that perspective also.
Sure.
And wait for the 8th to see what actually happens.
Yes, Anmol Pawar, you have a point. Go ahead.
Questions were raised in 2013 when we fought the Delhi elections for the first time, and even when we fought Punjab elections. But the fact is कि हम survey में नहीं आते, हम सरकार में आते.
Okay. So interesting there, a jumla as it were, survey mein nahi sarkar mein aate. But Charu Pragya, let's also look at Jammu and Kashmir a bit, shall we? Because interesting numbers there as well. If you look at the poll of polls, the average to the BJP is 27. For the Congress plus NC, it's 42. So, again, a sort of a decisive lead there as far as the Congress plus NC is concerned. The maximum number of seats that the pollsters are giving to the BJP is 30, and the maximum number of seats for the Congress plus NC is 48. But I think the larger point here also is, do you still expect, Charu Pragya, for the BJP to emerge as the single largest party in Jammu and Kashmir?
Vedanta, I'm confident that BJP is going to be forming the government in Jammu and Kashmir. And this is a victory of not just the people of Jammu and Kashmir, but the people of India from whichever state they belong to. See, this is the first election after abrogation of Article 370, and it is an election with an increased number of people going out to vote, even in isolated areas, geographically difficult areas. That speaks for a lot. And if you visit Kashmir today, there is a complete change in environment in the way the valley has been functioning, whether it is the return of entertainment, whether it is increased employment opportunities, a record number of footfall of tourists to Kashmir, or even simply the way the tricolor is celebrated in every nook and corner. So these speak a lot, and that is the real victory of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The numbers will definitely reflect it 2 days later. That being said, when we compare Jammu and Kashmir 10 years before to today, I think one main difference is that our younger generation is not being spoiled by people giving them stones in their hands. We are very
Definitely has been a big change. No boycott calls, and we've seen long queues at polling booths. That was really heartening to see. But Sandeep ji, quickly, one thing that seems to be clear from the trends in the exit polls that the election was fought differently in Jammu and in the valley.
See, that's always been the case. The pattern in the valley and the pattern in the Jammu region has been very different. One point, Vedant, we should keep in mind in Jammu and Kashmir is who emerges as the single largest party will be very critical.
Yes.
Because while you talk of an NCP Congress alliance, let's also remember there were friendly fights between both in Jammu and Kashmir. So do you really consider it a pre-poll alliance?
Yes.
On the other channel, the former Deputy Chief Minister who hailed from the BJP made the point that we will do very well in Jammu, and in Kashmir we can always open the door of communication with those who have won there to be able to form the government.
I think that's a very important point you're making. And Akshat, would you agree on that? Because we're also looking at record number of independents as far as Jammu and Kashmir is concerned this time around.
So I agree with sir. But as per most of the pollsters, they are pointing out that NCP and Congress alliance is likely to be the single largest group.
Yes.
And I guess out of the 90 seats, 58 seats are being contested by the National Congress. So it is not fair to say, or it might not be fair to say that only BJP might be the single largest party. As sir was saying, we have to look at who might.
But do you see the Congress NC also gaining in Jammu? So, and the BJP in the valley?
What happened in the 2024 Lok Sabha election, of the 36 assembly seats of Jammu and Udhampur, BJP won 29 seats.
Yes.
So I am expecting BJP to almost maintain a similar seat share, plus minus 1 or 2 seats. Maybe
in Jammu?
In Jammu. So in that similar range, but I am not very sure about the BJP's prospect in the Kashmir region, where they might not be doing very well, but yeah, they might gain in terms of vote share, but they might not be able to win seats. So upper bound, as per our understanding and as per most of the polls, it is, let's say, around to be 30 seats for BJP.
And for the PDP also, I mean, many have said that this is the end of political road for PDP. But of course, many pollsters have given 7 to 11 seats, which also seems good enough for the PDP there. So a lot to unpack as far as these numbers are concerned. But again, as I've been reiterating, a lot of health warnings. These are just exit polls, and more often than not, they have gotten it wrong. We will, of course, see what the final mandate is on the 8th. But it gives us enough talking points, certainly, as far as the elections are concerned, as we build up to the big counting day. We have to slip into a short break now, but lots more coming up on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
Feels like home.
Dulux Velvet Touch with True Color Technology feels like home.
Dulux, Dulux, Dulux.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. I'm too busy, baby, making plans on how to get me one of them manly men. All I want is a touch of love.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV.
Welcome back. Looking at some other news now. Well, in Maharashtra, the Prime Minister inaugurated Mumbai's first ever underground metro line, and this is touted to be a major game changer as far as Mumbai's metro rail network is concerned. There you can see he is flanked by the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister in Maharashtra. Both deputies, in fact, present there. This, of course, right ahead of the crucial polls expected to be held later. My colleague Anuj has more details on this.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi was on a one-day tour in Maharashtra today where he visited 3 different centers of the state for 3 different reasons. He started his one-day tour with not very politically known place, that is Vashim, a district in the eastern part of the state, and he announced a number of schemes, mostly agricultural based schemes there. One of the major target for the Prime Minister and the Mahayuti government trio, that is the Chief Minister and the 2 Deputy Chief Ministers there, was the Banjara community, you know, one of the most prominent communities in the state who are spread across 5-6 districts in the eastern Maharashtra and have a very strong electoral process pressure in those areas. From there, Prime Minister Narendra Modi implemented several agricultural schemes, be it the 18th installment of the PM Kisan Yojana, the fifth installment of an equivalent of that at the state level, be it, kind of agencies, the kind of schemes that he made available for cattle rearers or even for people who would be using solar panel parks. And after naming all of those schemes and after kind of announcing them, he went to Thane at the latter part of the day, where in Thane, and then of course he ended in Mumbai, and in these two places in Western Maharashtra, the schemes were more urban based. In Thane especially, it was more about inaugurating the new municipal corporation building. It was more about the elevated Eastern Freeway, which connects Thane to the southern part of Mumbai city and brings down the time taken for this distance, which would otherwise be 1.5 hours to only 20 minutes. Besides that, he also named several other infrastructural development projects in Thane as well. He ended his trip here in Mumbai, where we are standing at the moment, that is the BKC. He inaugurated the phase 1 of Metro Line 3, which is also referred to as the Aqua Line. And that is one of the more important metro lines here in the city, because it is also the first underground metro connectivity of the state. And this is just phase 1 of that metro, which has been inaugurated by the Prime Minister. Phase 2, or the latter phases, will be inaugurated once it is completed in the next year. At the end of his trip, of course, he went to the NAC, that is National Stock Exchange building, where he visited all those literary people who come with a background in Marathi language. And this development happens at the backdrop of Marathi being named as a classical language in a recent cabinet decision. With camera person Mahesh Halwai, this is Anuj Raite reporting for NDTV 24/7.
Meanwhile, look at news now from the world of aviation. Turbulence hitting Indigo. This as, of course, flight operations were disrupted across India after some technical glitches were reported. Though, of course, Indigo now says that systems are mostly up and partially restored. Let me go across straight to my colleague Pratibha Raman joining us from Bengaluru. So, Pratibha, Indigo says that flight operations have been, are back up and running. The systems seem to be up and running. What are you picking up from the airport? Is there still some chaos?
Well, in fact, there is more clarity than chaos now. What started off with a lot of passengers being extremely frustrated and exasperated at around 11 a.m. with long queues, people stranded, passengers taking to social media, completely outraged by the way Indigo has handled the operations there. All of them complaining there could be extra counters, but then Indigo has said that it was a system outage that disrupted operations, which led to a lot of chaos in terms of handling the operations there. A lot of flight delays that were also in place, and check-in and check-out of several of their flights led to a lot of chaos then. But yes, normalcy to be restored will take some time, but thanks to partial restoration, the crowds have now dwindled, and smooth operations are most likely to take place from now on.
All right, Pratibha, thanks very much joining us for the latest. There's no clarity yet whether operations are up and running, but certainly Indigo says that systems have partially been restored. And now our special exclusive with the Iran ambassador to India, as the West Asia conflict is only expanding, with Israel opening multiple fronts now. What is Iran's strategy going forward? Well, the Iran ambassador also said that we were not first to start the war. Take a look.
Hello everyone, and welcome to this very special conversation. Today, after a gap of almost 5 years, there was a rare sermon that was given by the supreme leader of Iran, Ayatollah Khomeini. What is the significance of that? And this is, of course, coming at a time when there has been an unprecedented scale-up or escalation in this war. We are being joined by Dr. Iraj Elahi, Iranian ambassador to India. Ambassador Elahi, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV.
Thank you for having me.
First question, and that's on everybody's mind. At a time when Iranian leadership have been targeted, this address, a rare sermon by the Supreme Leader Khomeini, what does it actually mean? What is he trying to communicate and convey?
Supreme Leader is the highest military commander of Iran. Highest military commander of Iran, not only the political leader, he is, all the Iranian military forces are under the command of Supreme Leader, according to our constitution. So when Supreme Leader talk and his words, in this case, it is serious. Serious meaning for Iranian and though concerning sides.
Iranian president says that he doesn't want a full war or an all-out war, but the charge is that Iran, through its proxies, are continuing to target Israel. What does this mixed messaging mean?
You know, the problem is how to define the issue and condition. Israel claims that Iran's proxy forces are attacking Israel. But on the other hand, we define the situation in this case that Israel is attacking Palestinian people, Israel is attacking Lebanon. So the interpretation of an answer to this question depends to how to define the question, how to define the issue, how to define the condition. We believe that we should be honest and honestly, this is Israel who has attacked Gaza, Israel who has attacked West Bank, Israel who has attacked the south of Lebanon, and recently launched a ground invasion to South Lebanon. Besides occupation of territory of Lebanon, heights of Golan in Syria, and all territory of Palestine and South Lebanon.
So you are of the opinion that this is a retaliation by Iran, and this is the kind of retaliation which will continue against Israel?
You know, we should separate the issues. First of all, there is something between Hezbollah and Israel, Hamas and Israel. This is something. There is something between Iran and Israel, which is something else. What is between Iran and Israel is related to the violation of Iranian sovereignty through assassination of Ismail Haniyeh as an official person, official guest of Iran in the capital of Tehran. So we feel that our sovereignty has been violated, so we need and we are obliged, and according to our constitution, we have to defend our national security. This is something. But there is at the same time, there is some tension between Hamas and Israel, Hezbollah and Israel. What we retaliated is, what we have done on our strike was in retaliation for the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, nothing else. We believe that Hezbollah is able to defend itself. Hamas also is able to defend itself, as has resisted for more than 1 year, despite all pressure and all military and strikes which has been done by Israel.
And how is Iran looking at protecting its military and nuclear installations, and of course also of oil reserves from almost what seems like an imminent Israeli strike?
You know, we hope that Israel has learned enough, has learned a good lesson and enough from the recent events. Israel committed a crime inside Iran, so we retaliated. And if it repeat anything, its crimes inside Iran, it will receive more powerful strike by Iran. So the entity of our retaliation and the main goal of our retaliation was to deter Israel from doing and repeating these crimes.
But Ambassador, the United States is reportedly discussing the possibility of Israel striking Iranian oil sites, and warnings of that nature has been shared as well. So are you prepared to protect these oil reserves? Because despite sanctions, oil reserves have been very intrinsic to your economic prosperity, and you have used it almost like as a weapon, and you have continued with your trade with Russia, China.
Yeah, it's a good question. We are, you know, in military there is a passive and active defense. Sometimes when we strike Israel, our defense was active. You know, we defended ourselves, our territory, by striking Israel actively. But at the same time, we have capability to defend our national interest, our assets passively. I mean, we are able to defend our installations.
Okay, so you are confident of defending your installations. If Israel strikes, that will certainly impact your economy. How will you protect the economy and your civilian population?
You know, this is the issue that has led or has made the different countries, especially the decision makers in Israel and United States, and other some parts that to this miscalculation that Iran is weak, and because of the sanction, Iranian economy has become weak, and Iran has concern regarding the economic situation inside Iran and the prosperity and welfare of Iranian citizens. You know, we has proved that Iranian economy is resilient. It means that we have saved not only saved, but increased our income. We have reached to self-sufficiency in different fields. We can supply our needs. We can have our needs inside Iran, and not only we are able to supply our needs, strategic needs. I mean, wheat, you know, food, drugs, different things. But also we have progressed, and Iran now has in the defense industry is, you know, you are well known about it. Iran recently launched its satellite in the orbit. So this is a miscalculation that Iran's economy is weak. I hope that they will revise in this calculation.
Russia and China are allies of Iran, but in the present escalation, they have been extremely tight-lipped about their views. How does the Iranian government view their silence or absence of support for you?
We are in close consultation with Russia. We are in close consultation with China. And beside this, we have experience of 8 years war with Iraq. During 8 years war, there were 68 countries against Iran. 68 countries were not against Iran, were supporting Iraq. They were sending troops to war front. They even warm food from some Persian Gulf state were sending to the war front of Iraq. Ammunition from Soviet Union, from intelligence information from United States, from France, different countries were supporting. So we do have our allies, and at the same time we are able to defend ourselves.
You know, many are of the opinion that this has reached a point where diplomacy is not even in discussion. Iran and Israel are face to face. So what is the outcome of this escalation? How do you view it?
You know, we are not with war. We are against war. We did not start this game. This is a game. This is a game which will result, destroy, and, you know, too many casualties, destroy of Iran, destroy of Israel. We are not with war, we are against war. But at the same time, we cannot be indifferent regarding our national interest. We are not indifferent regarding our national security. We will defend and we will strike harmful, we will hit and strike harmfully to our enemy.
One view is that...
but diplomacy is the best way.
So you're still hopeful for a diplomatic
of course.
way forward?
Yeah, of course. You know, in the first round, after the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh, we were ready to retaliate, but we received some messages from United States that there is a negotiation for ceasefire in the region, so we postpone our retaliation. We postpone our this retaliation.
Okay.
So we believe that if Israel stop its invasion and violation in the region, the escalation will be stopped.
So, Ambassador, when you say that you stopped this retaliation, does that mean that Iran had communicated to United States that there would be retaliation by Iran after the killing of the Hezbollah chief?
You know, we do have,
so there are back channel communications which are on.
We do have our channel with United States through different, and we receive message, we send message to them. It doesn't mean that there is no communication between Iran and United States. They have sent message, and we postponed our retaliation.
Okay, so because US told you to do so, you postponed the retaliation.
US said that there is a negotiation and for ceasefire. We postponed this retaliation for ceasefire.
Okay. You know, Iran...
it doesn't mean that we postpone our retaliation because of the request of United States. We postpone to reach to ceasefire. We could ignore our retaliation on the benefit of the region. But when Netanyahu rejected ceasefire and denied and did not accept ceasefire, there was no option for Iran just to retaliate.
How is Iran looking at its ties with Arab nations? The reason why I'm asking is that Iranian president was in Doha. He also met the Saudi Prime Minister there. There have been efforts of normalization of ties in the past between Israel and Saudi Arabia through the Abraham Accords. Of course, that has been put on the back burner, but how do you look at these meetings?
Iran and Arab states of Persian Gulf is progressing. After rapprochement of Iran and Saudi Arabia, the relation between Iran and Saudi Arabia is progressing. The United Arab Emirates is among the is one of the biggest economy partner, trade partner of Iran. With Qatar, we do have very close relation. Oman has hosted Iran-US negotiation. So our relation with our Arab neighbors is progressing, and we believe that they also are supporting de-escalation of the situation.
Given how tumultuous this region has become in recent days, how is the Iranian leadership looking at roles of various countries who can play the role of possibly, taking it in a diplomatic direction?
We believe that, from the viewpoint of humanity, from the viewpoint of international law, what is happening and the current situation in Gaza is not on the benefit of human being, not just Palestinian, for human being. It's shameful for human being that more than 41,000 people innocent people have been killed in Gaza. Even we do not call 7th of October a terrorist act, but even assume that it is a terrorist act. Let's assume that it is a terrorist act. Is penalty or punishment, proportion of the punishment and the crime appropriate? 1,000 of innocent Israeli have been killed. More than 41,000 Palestinians have been killed, and there is no end to this. Is it justice? Isn't it shameful for human being at the 21st century when a human being is, is landing in the moon and is exploring space?
So how do you evaluate it? You have Netanyahu saying clearly that Iran has made a big mistake after those 200 missiles which were launched towards Israel, and he has gone on to say that Iran will pay the price.
Yeah.
So what is the way forward? So will there be some kind of preemptive strike now?
No. First of all, it shows that to which extent the strike of Iran was painful for Israel. Despite of the censorship in Israel, it proved that our strike hit Israel and military bases of Israel, and it was really damaged. We just targeted intelligence service of intelligence installation and establishment of Israel, plus ammunition of Israel, not citizens, not the residential area, despite of their propaganda. But we are not supporting escalation. We support de-escalation of the situation, and we hope that they will not enter a new round and a new circle of tension between Iran and Israel.
All right. Since you say that you're hoping for de-escalation, Ambassador Elahi, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV.
Let me thank you for I hope that here, may I add that India is an important country. We hope that this is a good opportunity for India to play a role in this field. I hope that India will use its influence, its capability for de-escalation in the region, and convinced Israel to stop its genocide in Gaza and not escalate the situation.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV.
Thank you. Thank you for you and your audience.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
All the big newsmakers on NDTV on the exit polls. Bhupinder Hooda tells NDTV we expect a bigger sweep than the exit poll mandate. The poll of polls predicts a sweep for the Congress alliance in both Haryana as well as Jammu and Kashmir. A BJP upset predicted in Haryana. Indigo says their systems have partially been restored. This after technical turbulence hit the airlines across India. The Prime Minister inaugurates Mumbai's first ever underground metro, this months ahead of the crucial assembly polls.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want a touch of love.
कलर भी मेरा ही फेवरेट मिला.
Dulux Velvet Touch with True Color Technology feels like home.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है.
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है.
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी.
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है.
Congress is going to form government in Haryana with a big majority.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter.
And impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. I'm too busy, baby, making plans on how to get me one of them manly mans. Yeah. All I want is a touch of love.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can
NDTV poll of polls show clear majority for the Congress in Haryana. No party near majority in Jammu and Kashmir, though there is advantage to Congress and CP. The biggest newsmakers on NDTV now. Bhupinder Hooda says he expects a bigger sweep. Hooda is likely to be the chief minister. He though says the party will decide.
Chaos at the counters of Indigo Airlines at Bengaluru Airport. Indigo system outage impacts flights. Indigo says system partially restored. And ahead of the crucial Maharashtra elections, Prime Minister Modi inaugurates Mumbai's first underground metro. The Aqua Line will have 10 stations, 9 trains with 96 daily trips.
Hello everyone, good evening and welcome to the special broadcast. These are the first set of elections after the Lok Sabha polls. Of course, the polling in Haryana is over. The state went to polls, all 90 seats. Today, people of Jammu and Kashmir and Haryana have sealed the fate of political players. And as the tradition before the actual numbers come...
feeding the excitement, the frenzy in the country which loves politics as India. This is, of course, the exit poll evening. But when it comes to exit poll, there should always be some caveats. So let us begin by underlining that NDTV does not conduct any exit poll exercise. We are only putting out a poll of polls presented by various pollsters across many networks. And as always, exit polls come with statutory warning. They may or may not hit the mark. We have seen that many a times come the result day. So ladies and gentlemen, for your own health and safety, take them with a pinch of salt.
Absolutely.
Don't get too carried away with it.
And we have seen in multiple exit polls, the pollsters have got it completely wrong.
Absolutely.
So here at NDTV, we are just putting out polls of polls, which is essentially an average of the exit polls which have been done by multiple agencies. So let's begin. Because the crucial question that is there on everybody's minds are whether after 10 years of government in Haryana could BJP be voted out, and can the Congress really form the next government in the state? Well, as far as exit polls are concerned, it looks like that the Congress is poised to form the next government. But again, this is 5th. The results are going to come on only on 8th.
Absolutely. And you know, just for the benefit of our viewers, let us just tell what we are going to do in this next 1 hour. What we'll do, we'll try and divide what the polls are saying about Haryana and Jammu and Kashmir. We'll focus on the first half on Haryana, try and understand the factors, what goes into making whether this victory or defeat for A party or B, and then we'll shift our focus to Jammu and Kashmir. So as Maria was saying, these are poll of polls, just the average of what others are doing, and we are just putting it out. You know, this is just fascinating discussion before we actually discuss the real numbers come October 8th. At least at this moment, the poll of polls suggests the mean or average is that 55 seats out of 90 in Haryana seems to be going towards the Congress party, while the BJP is expected to win around 27 seats. Now, this is the mean average. Picture could very well be very different, as we have seen in many polls.
But Bhupinder Hooda is celebrating, and he is the man of the moment. If these numbers actually hold, then come 8th of October, 3 days from now, he could very well be, you know, he could play a key role in deciding.
He could be the king. I mean, come October 8th, if these numbers hold. Let's listen in to what Mr. Hooda, when he spoke exclusively to NDTV.
Sir, the exit polls are suggesting at this point that the seat share that Congress would be getting is of 55 to 62. What do you have to say to that?
This is what I am telling you, exit poll are telling now. But in the morning you asked me the question, I told you that Congress is going to form government with comfortable majority, and it will form the government.
So the whole day that you roamed around today, went to these poll booths, what did you feel? How do you look back at today, the final day?
The response which we are getting from everywhere I got the report, there's wave in favor of Congress.
As per these exit polls, is he hopeful for a bigger number? Because the range that is being suggested by the pollsters is from 46 to even 60.
Yes, because BJP has proved to be non-performing government and most corrupt government. This government, BJP and JJP government, and the law and order situation is worse. Even our sports person, Pahalwan, wrestlers, they have been not been spared.
Right.
So this is the question.
Hooda Saab, there is a list going on in social media. A lot of your Congress supporters are talking about they have already formed the cabinet and your day of swearing. So is Mr. Hooda ready for his day of swearing, or is there still suspense even if the Congress party wins, sir?
8th result would be coming, MLAs would be elected, their opinion will be taken, then High Command will decide who will head the government. Then this is hypothetical questions you are asking me.
Okay. Tanishka, there is a question that is coming in from Neerja ma'am.
Okay.
Neerja ma'am से एक सवाल पूछना चाह रही हैं.
Yes, one last question.
Mr. Hooda, it seems pretty well clear now that the Congress is going to form the government. Kumari Shelja has also thrown her hat in the ring for chief ministership. What is your response to that?
This is democracy. Everybody has got right to win, and everybody should aspire. Otherwise, you can also aspire. Who says no to you? But MLAs would decide, High Command would decide. Okay?
Thank you so much. That was Bhupinder Singh Hooda speaking exclusively to NDTV.
So you heard from Bhupinder Hooda, but an interesting point that has been made by him is that it will be the party high command and the MLAs who will decide who will be the next chief minister. If these numbers hold, let me tell that to the viewers of NDTV again. NDTV hasn't done any exit poll. We are just putting out an average of what the pollsters have done across various news agencies, and the mean actually is suggesting that the Congress is very well poised to form the next government. Here in the studio, we have Akhilesh, my colleague, and also Neerja Chaudhary. But first up, I can see Ankit with all the numbers. Ankit, over to you.
Well, as we have been underlining it in bold and also in italics, ladies and gentlemen, not our numbers. This is the numbers which have been put by various pollsters. Very quickly sifting through these numbers, one thing is clear, the Congress is in the range of, minimum range of 44, and it's going up to 64 in various polls. Dhruv Research is giving them 64, while India Today C Voter is putting them somewhere in 50 to 58. Now, 90-member Haryana Assembly, 46 is the number that you need to form the government. While Maria was talking about Bhupinder Singh Hooda, who was saying High Command will, in fact, decide in the end. Possibly, Mr. Hooda would be very happy if the numbers stay as close to 50, because then there is no chance that the Congress can risk anything else. If they go up to that higher range of 64, then possibly the High Command could try and play something else in Haryana. But the big news is that the Congress party is all set to form the government if these numbers come true on October 8th in Haryana after 10 years. And for the Bharatiya Janata Party, they have been ruling the state for the last 10 years. It still doesn't seem that kind of a tsunami that people were talking about, that the BJP would be wiped off the map of Haryana. Look at these numbers, 19 to 29, Dainik Bhaskar, it goes up to GIST, TIF, Research takes it up to 37 in their age, 29 to 37. If you largely look at the mean of these numbers, the BJP is somewhere between 19 to 25 is what the BJP seems to be getting. But the other big story emerging from Haryana, all the regional players, look at this, JJP only expected to win one. Aam Aadmi Party is drawing a knot here. Others have always been quite significant in the scheme of things in Haryana. 6 there for the others. INLD could get 2. Now, I'll be very interesting to see which is that one seat that the JJP is winning. It's certainly, at least with what I saw on the ground, is not Mr. Dushyant Chautala. It could be the Rania seat where the JJP and INLD are neck to neck as far as this election is concerned. But look at this. This tells you the big story. 54 for the Congress party, 23 up, and the BJP coming 13 down from what they were in the last election to 27. So, Maria, these are the first set of numbers. The poll of polls tells you that the Congress party is way above, at least 8 seats above the majority mark, and is all poised to form the government on October 8th if these numbers hold
Absolutely, Ankit. So let's bring in all the guests who are joining us on the top of 9. Neerja Chaudhary, senior journalist, right here in the studio. We have Akhilesh, my colleague, who has been traveling across Haryana, joining us. We have Sanjay Kumar, shephologist and professor of CSDS, Shehzad Poonawala, national spokesperson of the BJP, Dr. Virendra Sindhu, spokesperson of the JJP, and Shubh Malhotra of the Aam Aadmi Party. A word on top of this broadcast, we did approach the Congress party, but the Congress party was not ready to participate in any of the exit poll discussion, so we do not have a representative from the Congress. But Neerja Chaudhary, coming to you, an important point that you pointed out in that break that we had, ma'am, that what Bhupinder Hooda says is important. MLAs and Congress will decide who will be the next.
High Command and MLAs will decide. We know the major chunk of the tickets were decided by Mr. Hooda. The others, Kumari Selja, Mr. Surjewala, the others got very small. In fact, Kumari Selja didn't, her main 4 people were not given tickets. She herself wanted to contest. That was not allowed. So, if the MLAs are to decide who the Chief Minister will be, as well as the High Command, then of course the whole story points to Mr. Hooda becoming the chief minister. Remember also the Jat consolidation, solid Jat consolidation behind the Congress this time. Jats used to get divided between the regional parties and the Congress earlier. And many Jats have said, we are not only voting for our MLA, we are also voting for a Jat chief minister. So that sentiment is very strong, but the Dalit sentiment also is quite strong. They are afraid of what they call Jat Shahi returning. These are Dalits who are voting for the Congress. They would like a non-Jat CM.
But I think, Neeraji, there is a division there as far as the Dalit votes are also concerned. Like you said, the Congress consolidated with the Jat and the Dalit vote in the Lok Sabha elections. But there is a very clear demarcation in the Dalits as well. The Valmikis among the Dalits and the Jatavs seem to be voting for the Bharatiya Janata Party. The Ramdasyas are the ones who are largely propelling this Dalit consolidation for the Congress as well, which at least on the ground still seems to be holding true in this election as well. What you are talking about, the Jat supremacy or Chaudrahat as they call it in Haryana, it's just not the Dalits. Even the OBCs and the Punjabis in the GT Karnal belt are very, 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 and that is why you see there is a sort of a tsunami, a wave in the Hooda stronghold for Hooda and Congress. But it's not that everybody is too excited with Mr. Hooda possibly taking the chair of the chief minister across the state.
So it is not like Jat versus non-Jat as in the past elections.
Yes.
It is anti-incumbency versus incumbency, much more. And that anti-incumbency includes caste, it includes a lot of issues that people are unhappy about.
Okay, Akhilesh, as someone who traveled across Haryana, is this something that you had also sensed?
Of course, I mean, we are talking about who's going to be the chief minister. We're not saying whether the exit poll will be correct or not. So it shows the ground mood. So it was the mood on the ground. And BJP also, it's in a way, we noticed that actually had given up. In a sense that BJP was not that aggressive. We have seen in the past that how the BJP election machinery works on the ground. The entire leadership from Prime Minister Narendra Modi to Home Minister Amit Shah to the ground level workers at the booth level, they all come together for the elections. But this time in Haryana, things were different. We have seen in the ground that how Prime Minister Narendra Modi had only 4 rallies addressed there. Home Minister Amit Shah addressed 10 rallies. There was no major roadshow as far as Haryana was concerned. And also we have seen that Manohar Khattar, who used to be chief minister for the BJP for the past 9.5 years, his photographs was missing. So this was also a clear-cut signal by the BJP that, how it is considering that the party is facing anti-incumbency in Haryana. And Naib Singh Saini, I interviewed him in Kurukshetra. He was disappointed in a sense that he could not get much time. He got only 50 days or so as a chief minister. He was telling me that he has promised that he will sign the appointment letters first and then he take oath on 8th of October. This is what he was thinking. But of course, I mean, it shows that he did not get much time as a chief minister.
Okay, Shehzad, of course, okay, let me ask a direct question. How is the BJP looking at these numbers? Haryana.
Well, look, Maria, we are always going to go by the exact numbers because you know what happened in Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Yes. Not a single exit poll gave us those states, but then the exact numbers proved something else. But because I want to indulge this exercise that has been done by all, let me tell you why I am extremely happy. 2008, 2009, Jammu and Kashmir was held in 2008 prior to 2014 and 2009 Haryana elections. BJP was nowhere in these two states. And today BJP in 2024 has become the dominant pole in both these states, irrespective of the fact that we have a 10-year, what you call as an anti-incumbency. Secondly, for the first election in Haryana, corruption has not been the talking point against the government in power for 10 years. Not a single opposition leader has said कि बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट करप्ट है, बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट खर्ची पर्ची करता है, बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट दामाद दलाल को देता है. This kind of narrative या बीजेपी के गवर्नमेंट में दलितों पर अत्याचार होता है. That was the common trait of the Hooda government. दलितों पर अत्याचार, भ्रष्टाचार, परिवार. That was the common feature of the Haryana government in Hooda time. Thirdly, prior to 2024 Vidhan Sabha elections, BJP had around 60-65 seats in Jammu Kashmir and in Haryana. As per your current numbers, I think it will increase, but current numbers also we are getting 60-65 seats. That means after 10 years of anti-incumbency also, not a single seat is being lost by us. That means that we are wahan ke wahan. And lastly, the Congress which claims कि हम बड़े ताकतवर है, they had to go for support or beg for support of Aam Aadmi Party. अब बताइए आम आदमी पार्टी जिन्होंने दिल्ली में साफ कर दिया, पंजाब में हाफ कर दिया, हरियाणा में माफ कर दिया, एंड आई हैव वन जेन्युइन क्वेश्चन फॉर योर व्यूअर्स, ये असली इंडिया अलायंस इनमें से कौन है? कांग्रेस एंड सपा क्लेम्स इन हरियाणा वी आर असली इंडिया अलायंस. नाउ शुभ जी विल क्लेम आई एम असली इंडिया अलायंस इन हरियाणा. ये असली इंडिया अलायंस है कौन? मार्क किसके गाल पर है? ये असली तेजा कौन है यहाँ पर?
Okay, Shahzad, I'm going to ask that question to Shubh Malhotra. Would they have wanted, because as they had tried to form an alliance with the Congress party, that did not happen. But first up, Sanjay Kumar, I'm sure you have looked at the numbers very closely. Your assessment of Haryana, what worked, and if these numbers hold, could have worked for the Congress party?
So, Maria, just a rider. I have looked at the numbers, but not very closely, because in order to look at these numbers closely, you need some details. And the tragedy of some of these exit polls are that they just throw the numbers, not even the vote percentages. So how do you look at these numbers closely? But the numbers gives you a good sense of what we have been seeing on the ground, what studies which we have been doing. So it seems like all the exit polls are indicating in one direction, which is a very decent victory of the Congress. Whether it is going to be a very big victory or a decent victory, that's the only question. I think what worked in favor of Congress on the ground, right from the beginning, there were views like there is a lot of disenchantment with the BJP government. I think we would be making a mistake if we believe that the mandate, which is likely to be against BJP, is against the state government. It is more against the central government, because the three issues which gets echoed on the ground, Pahalwan, Naujawan, and Kisan, these are all the policies of the central government about which people of Haryana has been unhappy. And I think the big issue on the ground, which we saw, was issue of unemployment. Unemployment is an issue which cuts across all the states, whether you ask this question in Karnataka, Maharashtra, Haryana, anywhere. But the proportion of people who mentioned that unemployment is a big issue for them in this election was disproportionately high in Haryana.
Sanjay ji, let me very quickly just understand what you are saying, that this is just not against the government in the state, but also after Lok Sabha elections, some sort of a indication for the government at the center as well. Because when you look at the data from 2014 and also in 2019, there was a significant dip in what the BJP was getting in the Lok Sabha election to what it was getting in the Vidhan Sabha election. Almost a 20% dip, if I'm not mistaken, in 2014 Lok Sabha and Vidhan Sabha, and a 17% in 2019 in both the elections in 2019. Does that mean that the Bharatiya Janata Party was hoping, or at least was expecting, some sort of a pull-up factor from the central leadership, which we have not seen, at least in these elections? Like Akhilesh ji was saying, Prime Minister was missing in the end from the posters of the BJP, not as many rallies and road shows, not even a single road show of the Prime Minister, which is his trademark as far as the elections are concerned, sir.
So there are several indications why I say if BJP performs badly, it will be more an indictment of the central government, less on the state government. First, look at the nature of campaign by the top leaders of the BJP, the central leaders. They have not campaigned the way they used to campaign in other state assembly election. Clearly, they knew that they are not as popular in the state as they were. Second, look at what happened to BJP's electoral performance in 2024, compare it with 2019, and you get a clear sense that people are unhappy with the central government. BJP lost 5 out of the 10 seats which BJP had won, the Lok Sabha seat which BJP had won in 2019. That's another indication. And the three issues which I mentioned, the issues of Pahalwan, it has nothing to do with the state government. It is all to do with the central government. They were people of Haryana are unhappy with the way central government handled that issue. If we are talking about the Agnivir issues, it is a central government scheme. It's not a state government scheme. And if we are talking about the farmers, it is the central government scheme, the 3 farm laws which were enacted by the central government.
And Ankit, we have also put out that data of 2019 polls, which most pollsters got it wrong.
Yeah.
In terms of Haryana alone, I'll be asking the producer to put that data as well. So while we look at...
As it is anything else, it's also, these numbers are also a litmus test for the pollsters to see whether
like
they
always.
get it
Just
right
look
on
at this.
October 8th.
So Haryana 2019, poll of polls suggested 65 for the BJP. We'll be breaking that down vis-a-vis all the pollsters as well. But come in on, Dr. Virendra Sindhu, spokesperson of the JJP. If these numbers actually hold, then INLD and JJP have much to think about, much to worry.
मैं इसको एक्सेप्ट करते हैं और ये जो आप फिगर दे रहे हैं, जो भी दिया है एग्जिट पोल में, हमारे जो फिगर हैं इसके आसपास ही रहेंगे। हमारी पार्टी इस बात को एक्सेप्ट करती है, क्योंकि बीजेपी ने जिस तरीके से हरियाणा में रूल किया, जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट का रेट हरियाणा में पूरे देश में नंबर 1 पे है, जिस तरीके से जाति धर्म के नाम पर हरियाणा के लोगों को बांटा गया।
डॉक्टर सिंधु, आप ये बोल रहे हैं कि ये भी मुमकिन है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे पोलस्टर्स ये भी बता रहे हैं कि शायद आपका अकाउंट भी नहीं खुले, वो भी मुमकिन है।
हम ये नहीं कह रहे कि हमारा अकाउंट नहीं खुलेगा, लेकिन
एक सीट भी बता रहे हैं।
हाँ, 1 से 2 सीट तक हम लेके जाने की उम्मीद रखते हैं। मैं बिल्कुल ऑनेस्टली आपके चैनल पे मैं ये बात एक्सेप्ट कर रहा हूँ। जो बीजेपी ने हरियाणा में जो किया, जो अनएम्प्लॉयमेंट को लेके किया, जो परिवार पहचान पत्र को लेके किया, जिस तरीके के भ्रष्टाचार नौकरियों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने किया, जो सरकारें बदली, एकदम खट्टर को बदला गया, उसके बाद फिर एकदम विधानसभा बदली, तारीखें बदली, जो माहौल हरियाणा के लोगों में बीजेपी ने किया, उसके एंटी इंकम्बेंसी का जो परिणाम हमें भी भुगतना पड़ा।
नहीं, क्योंकि भुगतना तो सर नेचुरली है ना। 4.5 साल तक आप सरकार में रहे ना सर, तो आपने 4.5 साल का पीरियड जो है वो सरकार में काटा। तो अगर बीजेपी के खिलाफ एंटी इनकम्बेंसी है तो आपके खिलाफ भी होगी। दिक्कत शायद वहां पर यह है, जमीन पे घूमने से यही लगा कि जिस मुद्दे को लेकर 2019 में आपने चुनाव लड़ा था, बीजेपी के खिलाफ चुनाव लड़ा था, उनके साथ आपने 4.5 साल सरकार चलाई। ये क्या आप पर भारी पड़ा है? अब आपको लगता है कि गलती हुई, आपसे 2019 में सरकार में जाना नहीं चाहिए था?
देखिए कि काफी इमोशनल सा मुद्दा है, क्योंकि हम कभी भी कांग्रेस के साथ नहीं रही। हमारी पार्टी का जन्म हमेशा
हमारे साथ जुड़े रहिए, क्योंकि वी आर गेटिंग द नंबर्स नाउ फ्रॉम एक्सेस माई इंडिया with regards to Haryana. It is suggesting Congress could be in the range of 53 to 65, perhaps the highest, Ankit, among all pollsters, and they are giving BJP that range of 18 to 28. Yes, Sindhu Saab, continue.
मैं यही कह रहा था कि हम कभी भी कांग्रेस के साथ अलायंस हमारा नहीं रहा। ताऊ देवीलाल जी की विचारधारा उनके खिलाफ थी और हमेशा बीजेपी के खिलाफ ही, बीजेपी के साथ ही हमने सरकार में आए हैं। जितनी बार भी नेलो पार्टी, हमारी पार्टी आई, बीजेपी के साथ ही, तो कंफर्म था कि हम कांग्रेस के साथ नहीं जा सकते। अब 10 विधायकों के साथ हमारे पास एक ही ऑप्शन था कि हम बीजेपी के साथ सरकार बनाएं। तो बीजेपी के साथ सरकार बनाने के लिए जो हमने उनके सामने मुद्दे रखे, उन्होंने एक्सेप्ट किए। 75% का कानून पूरे देश में 1 नंबर पे अगर हरियाणा ने बनाया। एक बात मैं सिर्फ आपके चैनल से एक बात कह रहा हूं कि बुढ़ापा पेंशन हमने 3000 रुपए कराई, जो पूरे देश में कहीं पे भी नहीं है। राजस्थान में 1000 रुपए बुढ़ापा पेंशन है, जहां पे बीजेपी की सरकार है।
लेकिन कम से कम अगर ये नंबर्स होल्ड करते हैं तो आपके लिए, फॉर द जेजेपी, इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ बैटल फॉर सर्वाइवल फॉर द नेक्स्ट 5 years if these numbers hold. Shubh Malhotra is with us from the Aam Aadmi Party. Shubh, while people are talking about the irrelevance of the regional parties in this election, the Aam Aadmi Party, in at least these numbers, do not give you even a single seat, 0 as far as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. And why should this be worrying for the Aam Aadmi Party? Because you have 2 neighboring states of Haryana, you have governments there, and this is the 3rd time you are fighting the election in Haryana, where your party is struggling to open the account. It seems Haryana has completely rejected what you call the Kejriwal model.
No, I will not be so quick to dismiss Aam Aadmi Party in Haryana, and we actually have a history of defying such exit polls. So, the results are inside the box, and let's see what is to transpire. And it is true that our key leaders were jailed all through the critical time of the campaigning. But we went to the people with the Kejriwal model of governance, the model that within a span of 10 years made us a national party, gave us chief ministership with thumping majority of 2 states, and then again Delhi MCD, and of course decisive presence in many other states. But the most important thing for us is that over a span of the last 2 years, our party has shown exceptional efforts Sangathan-wise in Haryana. 7,000 villages and
but madam,
have been covered.
If the party has shown such exceptional tenacity, then it also wouldn't have been begging the Congress for 3, 4, 5 or whatever number of seats. Your leaders were going on national television saying that we really want this alliance to work. Do you think that has worked against you in Haryana? People did not take you seriously if you were ready to play the younger brother to the Congress party.
No, there's a difference in expecting that an alliance should take place and begging for it. The latter we definitely did not do. What we did do is that we went to the 7,000 villages and wards and covered where we have created our organized structure. And it's a big deal for any party what we have come to do over there. And most importantly, Delhi and Punjab model that the Aam Aadmi Party has, people have shown likeness towards it. That is what we have come to know.
Thank you
and
for joining us.
It's neither BJP.
We'll have to leave it there.
Complete.
Yes.
I waited a very long time, so let me just complete.
Yes,
They
ma'am.
know that neither BJP nor Congress have been able to provide them with the model that Kejriwal has provided.
That's a conversation for some other day. At this moment, we are talking about the relevance of the Aam Aadmi Party. Even if you won one seat, possibly you'll be a player. Let's leave it there at this moment.
Sindhu, thank you so much for joining us. We are slipping into a short break. I'll ask Neerja Chaudhary, Akhilesh, Shehzad Poonawalla and Sanjay Kumar to continue with us as we shift focus now to Jammu and Kashmir. A quick break and then we put out the numbers of Jammu and Kashmir.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
Feels like home.
Dulux Velvet Touch with True Color Technology feels like home.
Dulux, Dulux, Dulux. I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है।
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. From Haryana, let's take you right to the top of the country. Jammu and Kashmir, exciting elections there. Assembly elections after 10 years. So what is the exit poll? And let's again underline it with the red and italics in bold. This is not what NDTV does. This is poll of polls of various pollsters, which suggests at this moment that there is a clear advantage as far as the Congress and National Conference is concerned in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, where most of the polls giving them between 35 to 45. The maximum is India Today see voter 40 to 48. Remember, a 90-member assembly, 46 is the majority mark. So if you take the mean of all these numbers, the Congress and the NCP may just fall short of the majority, but could still, in fact, in the running. The maximum is People's Pulse taking it up to 50 as well. Now, what is the average? 41 to the Congress and the NC, 7 to the PDP, 15 others. But look at this number. The BJP is at 27. Does the BJP with these numbers still have a shot with others and possibly, few other political parties in the play? But at least if these numbers hold true, there is no clear verdict from the people of Jammu and Kashmir, where both the Jammu region and the Kashmir region vote absolutely differently. There are two different elections that you would see if you go to Jammu and Kashmir Valley, but advantage to the Congress-NC alliance with the BJP at 27. I think the race here is who becomes the party number one in Jammu and Kashmir. Let me very quickly straight away take you to our colleague Nazir Masoodi, who is joining us at this moment. Nazir, advantage to NC Congress alliance, but still short of the majority. Does this open the window of possibilities for the BJP with others and, the permutation combinations being worked out?
Well, from ground, when we were actually covering the election, whether it was campaigning or the polling, signs were very, very visible who is winning this election. And it was very clear National Conference Congress Alliance was way ahead, regardless of what would be the exit polls. And as we see that, it's clearly advantage the Alliance, NC Congress Alliance. And as you said, part of the Jammu region, which was Hindu dominated, which clearly on the BJP has been, appears to have won most of the seats. But if you see the Pir Panjal and the Chenab Valley, things are completely different, which are like 16, 17 seats. Things are not as it may appear in what we have seen on the ground. Having said that, this is a very interesting election, number one. If we go by the exit polls, for the first time since 2002 assembly elections, any party would be crossing the number 30 number of seats, because last time we have seen only 28 seats was the threshold for every party. They could not go beyond that. I'm joined by Wahidur Rahman Para, face of the PDP and the youth president of the PDP, who is also contesting himself from Pulwama. It appears that PDP may not be doing so well. So from 28 seats in 2014 and now, most of the exit polls show it may not touch even the double figure.
No, I think we're very optimistic with the way elections were conducted and the way people were participating in our rallies. So we are optimistic still, and I think you'll have to see the weakness and the challenges that PDP is facing currently. Okay. It's not because just we are facing a tough opponent on ground National Conference, but it's also the government crackdown that we have faced. Okay. 40 people from PDP were removed, ministers, MLAs, MPs, and there was a huge crackdown in last 5 years against People's Democratic Party and its leadership. Okay. So I think because of those challenges, and 3 parties were created out of the corpus of PDP. Okay. And now I think people in Kashmir are today voting. This voting is an act of self-preservation. Okay. This is an act of, saving whatever is left here, and also preserving the core of Kashmir. Because people see in last 5-6 years there have been hybrid parties, leaders.
But isn't this interesting? You are the main opponent of the National Conference, and when it appears that the people have voted for the National Conference, you say it is self-preservation.
I think because people are insecure that, a mandate is being fractured here. There are a lot of experiments happening here, and simultaneously not just 3 parties were made, lot many new experiments. You see dozens of candidates fielded in every constituency. So there was a lot of engineering in every constituency happening here. So people are vulnerable in these times because of whatever has happened on the 5th August 2019, and people want to send a message. And this is also happening, and about our activities, it's also that we are also facing a government crackdown. Then on ground, the crackdown is from BJP, and on ground the opposition is from National Conference. So it's a very, it's very it's very complex to fight elections in Kashmir, but we're still optimistic the way we have tried. We have given our best despite facing so much worse times in last 5-6 years.
Okay, thank you so much. And here, you see, the way these exit polls are showing, it's clear because no other party. Or one question. If, BJP would try to, form the government and they will try to reach out to, is there any possibility of any alliance?
I think we are hopeful there. Kashmir mandate is such that the shared interests, regional interests, Kashmir interests will come first paramount for all parties, whether it's Congress, National Conference, PDP. So there are larger interests, which is about also, the rollback of 5th August 2019.
So
it's a very
possibility
important.
of going with BJP?
I think impossible for for a party like us.
So you say, but in 2014 you were with them?
No, I think that time it was a very different situation, and the agenda of alliance was very big. Now that you experimented a lot.
But you can go with the Congress NC alliance.
Because there are shared interests, and our interests are rolled back. Whenever the party puts such agenda in, Congress has a mutual ground, or like National Conference has a mutual ground.
So big thing, even before the voting counting has started, PDP is saying they will prefer to go with the NC Congress alliance because there's a mutual interest, there's a shared interest, shared vision. Not with the BJP, they are saying now that's out of question at these times. So clearly,
Nazir,
we can understand how the things are going to shape.
That's a big message that is coming in repeatedly from the PDP. That when it comes to a potential post-poll alliance, they are open to giving or extending that support to the NC Congress alliance, not to the BJP. BJP is a big no. But the question is, Nazir, thank you so much for joining us. Let me introduce the guests and then bring in Neerja, Akhilesh, Sanjay Kumar, Asha Khosa, Advocate Aditya Gupta and Shahzad Poonawala continue to be with us. But the question really here is that if the BJP, if these numbers actually hold, it could very well be the single largest party because the National Conference Congress are in that range, but the BJP is clearly, they're around 28 to 30, Neerja Chaudhary, which means that if they reach that number, and as leaders have been suggesting to us, that if they actually become the single largest party, then they will do everything possible to form the government.
That, of course, many people, several people, insiders have said, if we become single largest party, we will definitely form the government. That those were the words. Now, single largest party means overtaking the NC, becoming larger than the NC. Because otherwise, will the governor give credence to the alliance? Or will he insist only on a party? I think this is a pre-poll alliance of the NC and Congress. It will be very difficult to ignore them. Now, I mean, it's a nail-biting finish if the exit polls are to be believed. But certainly, the independents seem to have, because remember, 6 weeks ago, people were saying it was an NC Congress sweep. And these were people within the BJP who were conceding that. Then the independents came in large number, 365 independents in the fray in Jammu and Kashmir. 45% of the contestants are either independents or these smaller parties like Engineer Rashid or Sajad Lone or Altaf Bukhari. So how many are they being given? We don't know. It's an interesting thing. And if the BJP is the single largest party, who will actually join hands with the BJP? They may want these parties to cut into the NC vote, but will they shake hands?
With the BJP?
Well, the BJP has already opened channel of communications. We know that Ram Madhav was appointed specifically for this purpose, and that's why the reason the BJP did not field so many candidates in the valley. Because the BJP did not field so many candidates, so the getting majority on its own was out of question anyway. And the same applies to National Conference also. But National Conference Congress alliance coming to power depends on the performance of the Congress party. Because as far as the NC is concerned, the BJP insiders say that the NC is not doing that bad, which it did in the previous assembly election. So NC will be doing better. For example, Umar Abdullah is contesting from 2 seats, and assessment is that he will win from both the seats. So this is the way he is getting support in the valley. But the Congress party, and he was disappointed with the performance of the Congress party. That's why he was saying that Congress should focus more on the Jammu region, and that's why if they do it, then the alliance can come to the power. But as far as the BJP is concerned, it's already in touch with so many independents and smaller parties. And also we've been told that if the BJP emerges as the single largest party, as Neerja ji is mentioning, then party will of course try to form the government in Jammu and Kashmir. And there's another factor of five nominated members of the assembly. They also have voting rights, so they will also be able to, add to the numbers of the BJP. And apart from that, BJP is also saying that if it emerges as the single largest party, then there may be a split in some smaller parties also.
But Shehzad, let me take this to you, because what Akhilesh ji is saying that the performance of the Congress parties possibly will define who forms the government. But the fact is the Congress was in a much tougher battle in Jammu than the NC versus BJP, which has not fielded many direct contests as far as the valley is concerned. But Shehzad, what is that number where the BJP would feel that they have a chance to form the government in Jammu and Kashmir? Because if you go by the poll of polls, at least at this moment, BJP is poised at 27, the Congress NC at 41, PDP at 7. PDP already, even before the Congress and NC could ask, is ready to support them. Is there a comfortable number that the BJP has it in mind that if this happens, we'll go for the kill?
Well, I think that rather than look at it this way, look at it from the perspective of the fact that the BJP is emerging, by all accounts, as the single largest party in Jammu Kashmir, something that would have been unheard of last 10 years ago or 15 years ago. And therefore, I think if you see the morality of the mandate, you have NC and Congress that played every trick in the book, including pulling out the 370 card, which, by the way, can't come back even if they happen to win seats or win elections, etc. Then, even then, they are not being accepted in the valley, which is their dominant place, means it is a moral rejection of NC Congress as an alliance. And whereas it is a moral acceptance of the BJP or whatever the BJP has offered over the last 10 years, and therefore, I think that more than the numbers.
No, but how, Shehzad? Because you are saying that they are not been accepted in the valley. The same argument could be for the BJP, that despite 10 years of doing what you wanted to do, Valley is not accepting you. Your numbers seem to be largely being driven from the Jammu region. You are dominating Jammu. You are not specifically there in Kashmir. For NC, by all accounts, they are also about 28 to 30 in the Valley region.
No. No party is a party that is pan-Jammu Kashmir in the current configuration. The Congress does not have any seats to speak of in Jammu, even though they fought so many seats there. The National Conference has no seats, much seats in Jammu. And we may have our weaknesses in Kashmir, I accept it, I admit it. But even after this conflict, so no party is a pan-Jammu Kashmir party. Let's first accept that. Even Omar Abdullah contested his both seats, not from one from Jammu, one from Kashmir. Both from Kashmir is contesting, 2 seats. So having said that, the moral mandate seems to be out of these 3 or 4 polls that you're showing, that in this scenario, the BJP is a #1 party that is emerging there, and therefore it will be a BJP-led government, a BJP-led chief minister that will be forming the government in Jammu Kashmir as of now.
Okay. Sanjay Kumar, of course the numbers we'll have to wait till 8th, but if you look at the exit polls, and we have also done the poll of poll, it's indicating that it could very well be a hung house in Jammu and Kashmir.
Even when the numbers were not out from based on the exit poll, I think there was a lot of discussion, and I used to think that maybe Jammu and Kashmir is heading for a hung assembly. The reason was very simple. If you look at the Jammu and Kashmir, there are 2 different elections taking place. In Jammu region, the contest is largely between the BJP and the Congress, BJP being very, very strong. But if you look at the valley, BJP is nowhere present. And it is largely a contest between various regional parties, mainly between NC Congress Alliance on one hand and PDP on the other hand, but there are other regional parties as well. So rightly said that it would be very difficult to think that there is one party in Jammu and Kashmir which is a pan-state party. Sectional support base, BJP is strong in the Jammu but not present in Valley. And I think that is what is resulting into the estimates which are coming from the exit poll that it is likely to be a hung assembly in Jammu and Kashmir.
But there is that Gulista survey also, and I'll ask the producer to put that out, because it's rather interesting, Sanjay Kumar, very different from what the pollsters are suggesting. Why do you think Gulista News is actually suggesting that BJP could very well be the single largest party?
This is whenever there's an election season, as like, the winter season or the spring seasons, some new flowers bloom. And I think in this election also, in this poll also, I have come across 2 or 3, 4 such polls, such agencies we have never heard of. Who are these people? What is the vote share estimate? So I don't know who is this Gulistan News, who is this Gist poll. There are several of that kind we have never heard of. What is the vote share estimate? I think it is important to do a research on these polls itself.
Yeah,
I think, Sanjay ji, some of them, like you are saying, are just putting this outlier kind of a situation. If it happens, that it's a overnight boom. If it doesn't happen, then who cares? Nobody heard before about these players before, in fact, these elections. But very quickly, Asha Kosha, I just want to come to you at this moment. What sense do you make of these numbers that are coming through? At least, for the discussion's sake, we have these numbers of exit polls. Advantage to Congress NC alliance, but not a clear mandate. Is that the sense you also get by being on the ground and, of course, seeing the entire process?
Well, actually, the exit poll is not very off the mark from what we perceived was happening on the ground. Say in Jammu and Kashmir region, NC was a dominant force because there was no challenger to NC. I mean, PDP was already out. Much of it had lost a lot of its sheen support for various reasons. NC was reviving itself. It had kept itself afloat, and there was no serious challenger. BJP did not, I think they contested only 19 seats. If somebody can correct me if I'm wrong in numbers. BJP was never a challenger in Kashmir. So BJP was out of that race already. So what BJP is projected to be getting is quite good by their own calculations. But to me, there is one worry. I mean, I as a resident of J&K and also a person who has seen elections, if these numbers are correct or if the result come along these lines, there is a clear communal divide. In Jammu region, some people, as Nazir also suggested, that there are constituencies with Hindu majority. They seem to have gone for BJP, and in Jammu, the others have gone against BJP. So if that is on communal basis, that is very worrying fact. But BJP is, whatever BJP has done, projected numbers are quite good. I think it is as per their estimate.
But
they never estimated more than
10 years,
30 or something.
That has been the nature, hasn't it? I mean, last time also the BJP got about 20, Shahzad, I'm just coming to you. If I'm not mistaken, about 23 to 24 seats in Jammu region. Right. And at that point of time, the number of seats were also 38. It was less seats than what it has happened now. So I think that phenomena has been playing out at least after the 1990s. But Advocate Aditya Gupta, he's the state vice president of the youth PDP. Should this send alarm bells ringing for the PDP in 10 years from being the single largest party? Now PDP seems to be reduced to a party which is largely of southern Kashmir, few seats here and there, which is now, even before the invitation could go, is ready to give support to the National Conference and Congress alliance.
See, as far as the ultimate number is concerned, that we'll see on 8th. But giving the due respect to the people who have done the research and have come to this number, I have a caveat as far as BJP's number is concerned, because what you have to ultimately see on 8th is 2 regions in Jammu, Pir Panjal area and the Chenab Valley. They have been given seats in these areas, but I would really like whosoever has done the analysis should name those 25 seats where they believe that BJP is actually winning, or for that matter, Gulistan going to 30. As far as we are concerned, we have been subjected to a target for last 6 years. 3 parties have been created out of us. So with those things, we have fought the election, not only this one, but the parliament election also. And we fought with best of our abilities. And as far as the numbers that we are predicting are much higher than the one which has come up. We cannot completely say that we are subjected only to a particular region. As a matter of fact, we have fought well in the complete valley as well as in Jammu division.
Okay, Shahzad, you wanted to come in, please.
First of all, with I'm not trying to justify anything for anybody, but Gulistan is a fairly well-known media outlet in Jammu Kashmir. So, I mean, perhaps Sanjay ji would want to revisit that. They are quite famous and popular there, whatever numbers they get. Secondly, look, I would just differ from the speaker that spoke before, the PDP spokesperson. Jammu as a region has now started voting on issues of roti, kapada, makan, bijli, sadak, pani, unemployment, employment, on the regular, normal, nationalized issues. Whereas in Kashmir, we saw all the parties, somebody was chanting Jai Nasrallah, somebody was saying 370 le aenge. So I would say that it was the parties of the valley that even after 370 has been consigned to the Kabar, they are still trying to polarize and communalize the entire electoral issues of Kashmir, thereby not allowing the Kashmiri to averagely vote on issues of mere ghar ki sadak kaun banayega, mera hospital kaun banayega, whereas the people of Jammu have now graduated. If it was only a 370 issue, Maria, you would have seen that it would have been 43 out of 40.
But Shehzad,
so it is to reduce it as a communal issue is wrong. Jammu is voting more on nationalized issues.
I was there in Srinagar. One sense is clear, that sense of aspiration, the regular bread and butter issue of roti, kapda, makan, sadak, and you know, the aspiration of the youth in particular, because the 70%, just look at that huge demographic, 70% of Jammu and Kashmir is under the age of 30, so they were talking about jobs.
Yet Maria, tell me one party of the valley which set these issues as their main issues.
No, but Shehzad,
PDP was saying Nasrallah.
No. Absolutely wrong. He's lying and from his seat.
Just a second.
Lying.
Absolutely lying. With due respect, the question then would be last 10 years. Shehzad, just listen to me. Last 10 years, there has been by de facto rule of the central government, and all these issues that you are talking about, roti, kapda, makan, along with employment and everything, the BJP says has been given to the people of Jammu and Kashmir, especially the valley. That seems to be, at least these numbers would suggest, has not worked with the people.
One line. First of all, when you have Congress, which is a mainstream national party, going to Jammu Kashmir and saying outsider, insider, then you know that they are pandering to the worst kind of rhetoric in Kashmir. And we all know what outsider means in Kashmir. It does not just mean somebody who's not who's from UP Bihar. It means the entire binary of kafir, non-kafir. Secondly, let me complete. I would say that the Congress NC, after using all this poisonous rhetoric, after they don't get the halfway mark, it means that it is an endorsement for governor rule, but not for them.
Okay, but it also means that people of Valley are against what is being seen as dynastic politics, which one of the narratives that was said by the BJP. Or should we look at it the other way, Neerja Chaudhary, that if these numbers actually hold, then it actually means that there is return to all those traditional ideas?
Look, the family rule, family politics, whether it's of the Abdullahs or the Muftis in the valley, or it is Hudas, or Bhajan Lal's progeny, or Bansi Lal's progeny in Haryana, it is there, it is entrenched, it has not gone away, and this election seems to be pointing in that direction. It is the people's choice. Like it or not, you and I may not like it.
Yes.
But that's the way people are voting.
Yes, but the good news is that there is celebration of democracy and the electoral process.
Absolutely. In both states, that is a marvelous part of
Absolutely.
And
so we'll
also,
be looking at the
Jammu and Kashmir election is a complex election. I mean, both the regions vote as if they are two different states voting on absolutely different issues. A party which has the support in the valley on the same issues cannot go and ask for votes in Jammu.
What is most satisfying for me, because I visited both Jammu Kashmir and Haryana, is the thing that the emotive issues have taken a backseat. For example, in Jammu and Kashmir, nobody talked about revival of Article 370 when I spoke to the common people. Nobody talked about the statehood. Because when I asked them, then they replied to it. But for them, the primary issue was employment, development, construction of roads, reservation, all these were the issues. Same goes in Haryana also. In Haryana, people are talking about employment, about inflation, about issues like Pahalwan, Jawan, Kisan, all these issues were there. So nobody is talking about the emotive issues. This is the best thing about the democracy.
Absolutely.
Except for the political parties of Kashmir.
I have a different observation.
Yes, Sanjay ji, go ahead.
I have one point.
Sanjay Kumar.
I have a different observation. Yes, on Article 370, very few people were saying that should be restored. But on statehood, a very large number of people want statehood to be restored. I would completely disagree with what Akhilesh ji is saying. Very large number of people want statehood to be restored.
All right.
It seems that that has robbed them.
This
of
was
the
never
sense
a
of
question,
pride in
though,
Jammu
because
and
we have
Kashmir,
already
and
said
that is
statehood
something
is coming.
that people, in
Yes,
fact,
all
are
right.
also talking about. I think we are out of time now.
Out of time completely. So with that, it's a wrap from Ankit and me. But before that, let's thank all the guests who joined us: Neerja Chaudhary, Akhilesh, Sanjay Kumar, Shehzad Poonawala, Asha Khosle, and of course Aditya Gupta. The big results will be coming on 8th. These are just poll of polls or exit polls. NDTV hasn't done any. We had just put out those numbers to tell you about the big picture or directionally how it looks like as far as the pollsters are concerned. On 8th, right from 7 a.m., this is going to be your election news destination. So do join us.
Thank you so much. Good night.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
I've been reporting on all issues, big and small, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital, Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
The NDTV poll of polls suggests a clear majority for Congress plus in Haryana, although no party near a majority in Jammu and Kashmir, although it is advantage Congress and National Conference. The biggest newsmakers on NDTV on the day of exit polls. Bhupinder Hooda speaks to NDTV on exit polls, says that he expects a bigger sweep. While he also added that on the CM face, he says that the party is yet to decide. Junior doctors protesting over the RJ Medical College and Hospital horror go on fast unto death, claiming that the Bengal government failed to fulfill their demands. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated Mumbai's first underground metro, the Aqua Line. It will have 10 stations, 9 trains with 96 daily trips. Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The exit polls are out. The NDTV poll of polls, it suggests that Congress Plus is leading in Haryana. Haryana Chief Minister remains firm on forming the government, while the Congress says that they are ready to form the government. The exit polls, it predicts a clean sweep for the Congress in Haryana. Now, Haryana Chief Minister, he says that he is retaining the BJP is retaining the government in the state, while Congress claims that Congress is going to come back to power after 10 years. Bhupinder Singh Hooda, the former Chief Minister, he spoke to NDTV and he said that the High Command will decide on the Chief Minister's face. Listen in.
Sir, the exit polls are suggesting at this point that the seat share that Congress would be getting is of 55 to 62. What do you have to say to that?
This is what I am telling you, exit polls are telling now. But in the morning you asked me the question, I told you that Congress is going to form government with comfortable majority and it will form the government.
So the whole day that you roamed around today, went to these poll booths, what did you feel? How do you look back at today? The final day.
The response which we are getting from everywhere I got the report, there's wave in favor of Congress.
As per these exit polls, is he hopeful for a bigger number? Because the range that is being suggested by the pollsters is from 46 to even 60.
Yes, because BJP has proved to be non-performing government and most corrupt government. This government, BJP and JJP government, and the law and order situation is worse. Even our sports person, Pahalwan, wrestlers, they have been not been spared.
Right.
So this is the question.
Huda Saab, there is a list going on in social media. A lot of your Congress supporters are talking about they've already formed the cabinet and your day of swearing. So is Mr. Hooda ready for his day of swearing, or is there still suspense even if the Congress party wins, sir?
8th result would be coming, MLAs would be elected. Their opinion will be taken, then High Command will decide who will head the government. Then this is hypothetical questions you are asking me.
Okay. Kanishka, there is a question that is coming in from Neerja ma'am.
Okay.
Neerja ma'am से बोलिए एक सवाल पूछना चाह रही हैं.
Yes, one last question.
Mr. Hooda, it seems pretty well clear now that the Congress is going to form the government. Kumari Shelja has also thrown her hat in the ring for chief ministership. What is your response to that?
This is democracy. Everybody has got right to win, and everybody should aspire. Otherwise, you can also aspire. Who says no to you? But MLAs would decide, High Command would decide. Okay?
Thank you so much. That was Bhupinder Singh Hooda speaking exclusively to NDTV.
Meanwhile, the Chief Minister of Haryana, Nayab Singh Saini, he has said that the people of Haryana, they have seen the work in the past decade, and that he's confident that the BJP is returning to power. Listen in.
हरियाणा के लोगों ने जो पिछले 10 वर्षों में कार्यों को देखा है, हर वर्ग के लिए काम हुए हैं। हरियाणा को क्षेत्रवाद से मुक्ति दिलाई है, हरियाणा को परिवारवाद से मुक्ति दिलाई है, हरियाणा से जो भेदभाव होता था उससे मुक्ति दिलाने का काम हमारी सरकार ने 10 वर्षों में किया है। हमें पूर्ण विश्वास है कि हमने जो हरियाणा को एक नई गति विकास की देने का काम किया है, 8 अक्टूबर को भारतीय जनता पार्टी तीसरी बार बहुत बड़े मैंडेट के साथ आ रही है।
Meanwhile, in Jammu and Kashmir, these were the first assembly polls after the surprise Lok Sabha mandate. In Jammu and Kashmir, the referendum is on the scrapping of Article 370. These are in Jammu and Kashmir, in fact, a record number of independents were also in the fray. A very changed India bloc dynamics was also on display. These are, in fact, first polls after delimitation in Jammu and Kashmir. The big question is, will the BJP open account in the valley, or will the Congress and the National Conference capture the hearts of the valley? Will the BJP show all the way in Jammu? And is it the end of road for Mehbooba Mufti's PDP? Meanwhile, the Abdullahs and the Muftis, they are fighting a battle for survival there. In fact, I'm joined by my colleague Maria Shakil. Maria, sum up the day for us. What does the exit poll suggest, and how do you see this?
So, in Jammu and Kashmir, it's becoming clear that, of course, these were the first elections after the abrogation of Article 370. And when we look at the exit poll numbers, remember, NDTV doesn't do exit polls. And these are NDTV poll of polls, where we have looked at various pollsters, put together their numbers as we build up to 8th, which is the day of the actual numbers. And in the past, let's be clear, several times pollsters have got it completely wrong. Talking specifically first about Haryana. 90 seats when polls in Haryana, most of these pollsters are suggesting that the Congress could return to power after 10 years, and the Congress gain could be significant, which means they could very well be above the halfway mark. In fact, our poll of polls is suggesting that the Congress could be in the range of 55 to 60. Most of the pollsters have given them above 60 as well. So the big question is, who is going to be the next Chief Minister of Haryana? We have spoken to Bhupinder Hooda. He's suggesting that it is the High Command and the MLAs who will decide the next Chief Minister. Mr. Hooda, remember, was very crucial and critical in deciding the candidates. So most of those who contested have been Hooda loyalists. Shifting focus now to Jammu and Kashmir. In Jammu and Kashmir, the pollsters are indicating that it could very well be a hung house, which means the National Conference Congress alliance worked in some pockets but did not go the whole hog, which also means that the BJP could emerge as the single largest party. But the indication here is from the PDP, which is coming in, that they would go all out to support the Congress NC if they fall short of numbers. But the BJP insiders also claiming that in case if they emerge as the single largest party in Jammu and Kashmir, then they will try their best to form the government. But overall, these are just poll of polls or the exit poll numbers. The real results, we'll have to wait for 8th.
All right, Mario Shakil, thank you very much for getting us all those details and explaining everything in detail. Meanwhile, the other big story that we are tracking at the top of this hour, it is Mamata Banerjee versus the doctors face-off yet again. The doctors, they have announced that they are going to fast unto death. The doctors say that the West Bengal Chief Minister failed to fulfill all their demands. So the junior doctors, they are they have gone on a fast unto death, and also said that they demand justice for the RG Kaur victim. As you can see on your screen, they are protesting over the RG Kaur horror. They have now gone on a fast unto death, claiming that the West Bengal government has failed to fulfill their demands. So the face-off between the doctors and the Mamata Banerjee government, it continues. The face-off, it has been going on for over a month now. This after the death of the rape and murder of the RG Kaur doctor there, and the doctors, they have now announced fast unto death, saying that the West Bengal Chief Minister has failed to fulfill their demands. And my colleague Saurabh Gupta joins us to get us more on this. Saurabh, what is the latest that you can tell us? From what we understand, the doctors, they have now announced fast unto death.
On for a while. Of late, with the puja is coming in, there was a sense of understanding that perhaps the protests would peter out or, in a sense, lose intensity. The doctors don't want that to happen, and therefore they want that to have the kind of public attention and support it has had, and therefore this is an sort of a measure to sort of keep the protests going, keep the pressure on, so that that they can actually continue their attention and focus on the protests, because that is something that obviously has been going on for a while now, and they don't want to lose sort of sight of the fact that the protests have gathered a lot of attention, garnered a lot of attention and support, and therefore there will be an attempt to keep the protests going somehow. And this is one effort to do that by ensuring that that the protests somehow continue and therefore also not lose intensity, and that's why perhaps strategically this fast unto death protest has been announced.
All right, Saurabh Gupta, thank you very much for getting us all the latest from that story. Meanwhile, there has been unrest over a miner's death in South 24 Pargana in West Bengal. Tension arose in Mahishamari in South 24 Parganas after a minor girl. She was allegedly abducted and then murdered. After the student did not return home from tuitions, a complaint was filed at the Joynagar police station last night. The police then launched a search on receipt of the complaint, and the dead body of the minor girl was recovered from an empty field with multiple injuries. The body, it has been sent for post-mortem, and as anger grew over this particular incident, a police camp was also vandalized and set on fire. My colleague Saurabh Gupta has more details.
Tension and violence unfolded in the South 24 Parganas district's Mahishamari Ghat area after the body of a 9-year-old child was recovered from this field early in the morning. Now, this young girl had gone for tuitions yesterday but did not return home. She had informed her father she was going home, but she did not return home. When the father came home, he realized she had not come home, so she went to the police, and the police, of course, directed him to the nearest police station to file a complaint. Now, after a missing complaint was filed, what happened was the police launched a search. They figured out who she was seen last with, and then after that, they they interrogated him, they apprehended him, arrested him, interrogated him, and he, of course, confessed to his crime and informed the police that he had dumped the body here. So the police came here, and this is the spot where they recovered the body from. You can see the police have marked the area with tape, as that is the place of occurrence of the crime scene where the body was recovered. But in the morning, after all of this came to light, there was considerable anger in the area, given the fact that, that some time had passed, and there was a police camp nearby where the police camp was set on fire, and the police had to be deployed in large numbers to maintain law and order and peace. In fact, even now there is a heavy police presence in the area. Police are also guarding the crime scene, and the body has been sent for a post-mortem. And also what we know is that further investigations are on in this case, as this area was where the body was found. However, the angry locals set on fire a police camp nearby, about 2 kilometers from here, in protest against the incident. With camera person Aniruddha Tripathi at the Mahishamari Ghat area in South 24 Parganas district of West Bengal, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side.
Hello, Moto.
Motorola Razr 50 Ultra comes with Google Gemini.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
Welcome back. Prime Minister Narendra Modi was in bound Maharashtra, where he inaugurated the underground metro. It is a big infrastructure push in the Maximum City. The Prime Minister, apart from inaugurating the metro, he also enjoyed the metro ride with commuters. Mumbai, in fact, has got its fully underground metro line, which the Prime Minister inaugurated. This is the much-awaited Kolaba-Bandra Seeps metro line. The Prime Minister also, in fact, played Nagada in Banjara Virasat Museum, a big mega infrastructure push ahead of the Maharashtra polls there. The super fast T10 cricket tournament, also known as the 60 Strikes tournament, began on Friday night in the United States. 6 teams are participating in this tournament, which will feature 20 matches between October 4th and 14th. The ICC recognized tournament, it will see legendary cricketers like Sir Viv Richards as mentors, big names like Dinesh Karthik, Pragyan Ojha and former Pakistan captain Shahid Afridi. They are also in action. In the first match, Texas Gladiators beat Dallas Lone Stars by 42 runs. Here's how the match unfolded.
The first match of the NCL's 60 Strikes tournament in the United States saw Texas Gladiators take on the Dallas Lone Stars. The captains Dinesh Karthik and Shahid Afridi faced off in the toss. Dinesh Karthik won the toss and chose to bowl fast.
Just having a look at the pitch, not sure how it's going to behave, so we'll give it an opportunity in terms of giving our bowlers the best shot at bowling first here, and it looks a very interesting pitch, so let's see how it plays out.
However, Karthik's decision proved costly on an unfamiliar pitch.
Flight that time, beautifully played.
England's David Malan smashed 67 runs of just 26 balls for Texas, with 2 fours and 8 sixes. Malan's strike rate was an impressive 257.69.
It's punished all the way for a maximum.
New Zealand's Nick Kelly contributed 45 runs of 25 balls as well. Chasing 141, Dallas Lone Stars managed only 98 for 3 in 10 overs.
And that's an easy catch.
Pakistan's Shoaib Maqsood scored 67 runs of 36 balls.
Will be for one bounce into the fence.
With 5 fours and 6 sixes at a strike rate of 186.
It's edged and it's another 4.
However, he couldn't take his team to victory. Shahid Afridi, who was playing as an impact player, scored 6 runs of 4 balls. The 60 strikes brings a quick and action-packed game with focus on increasing viewership in the United States.
The Adani University in Ahmedabad, it conducted its first convocation. Dr. Preeti Adani, President Adani University, she spoke at this event and said their vision is to create a university of excellence. Listen in.
On this historical day, I welcome you all to Adani University's first ever convocation. It's a wonderful day today. It's a day that validates our chairman's vision to create a university of excellence. This is the first day for this to start this journey, and that's why it's going to be one of the most memorable days in the history of Adani University. As you all know, the move to form a university was finally approved in 2022, and this happened after relentless, enduring efforts. So I take this opportunity to congratulate the senior leadership, the faculty members, as well as the entire administrative staff who have worked relentlessly so that we could see this day today. Now let me address the stars of today. My dear graduating Adaniites, congratulations to all of you, and this is a fantastic defining moment for all of you. This is a day to celebrate your dreams, your aspirations, your beliefs, and your achievements. Education is an incalculable luminosity. While everyone knows that knowledge is intangible, but the progress of humanity is dependent on its trickling effect on the very last person in the society. And this is through formal and meaningful education. Both Gautam and I believe that education in life sciences with a special focus on research and innovation will shape the new face of India. Our country is a powerhouse of human capital, and the Adani University, in alignment with our Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat, strives to harness the right talent through education. Friends, the pursuit to knowledge is never ending, and this convocation is not the end. It is a milestone celebration of the knowledge you have gathered here before you enter the professional world. So make no mistakes that in the professional world, there will be times when you will unlearn, relearn, and again excel in whatever you do. Having said that, this small aberration should not even deter you from attaining excellence. It is if you need to possess knowledge, tenacity, rationality, and intelligence. With this, you are unstoppable.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV.
care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and
Kia launches Carnival and EV9. We will get you a detailed walk around. Test drive of BMW CEO 2. BSA Gold Star 650 reviewed. Test ride of Triumph's most affordable bike, Speed T4. It was a very exciting week. We saw
Kia India take on luxury segment head on. We also drove BMW's cheapest electric scooter CEO4 and it costs 4.5 lakh. So we have got a packed show for you. Take a look.
So it's not every day that you get to see a Kia that is worth rupees 1.30 crores. But well, it's the lucky day for us and the Indian market today because Kia has launched the massive EV9, which is their flagship model in the country now. Well, it is a fully electric SUV, and if you have heard of SUVs as the more brawny and the butch cars with massive 3-liter V6 engine sitting inside them, it is roughly the same size, it is roughly the same design as Kia Manohar, but what you're getting here is an electric powertrain so that you have all the brawniness of the Kia Manohar but with a conscious effort towards sustainability, यानी आपको ज़्यादा पेट्रोल और डीजल खर्च करना ना पड़े, आप प्रदूषण कम मचाएं, आपके काफ़ी ज़्यादा स्वच्छ और क्लीन एसयूवी हो, वो एक एफर्ट किया की तरफ से हमें यहाँ देखने को मिलता है। क्लैडिंग की बात करी जाए तो आपको पेंटेड क्लैडिंग मिलती है जो कि मुझे ज़्यादा पसंद आती है, बट अगर हम व्हील्स की बात करें तो यहाँ पर आपको काफ़ी बड़े 20 इंच रिम्स मिलते हैं। दीज आर अलॉय व्हील्स, लेकिन इनमें एरोडायनेमिक इफेक्ट दिया गया है क्योंकि इस गाड़ी का ड्रैग कोफिशिएंट है सिर्फ 0.28, यानी कि आपको अच्छी खासी रेंज भी यहाँ पर मिलने वाली है। किया क्लेम करता है लगभग 561 किलोमीटर्स की रेंज, एंड इफ़ आई हैव टू टॉक ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस तो आपको लगभग 360 हॉर्स पावर और 700 न्यूटन मीटर्स का टॉर्क मिलता है, एंड रिजल्टेंटली यू कैन गो फ्रॉम अ स्टैंड स्टिल to 100 kmph in just 5.3 seconds on an SUV that is this big. So you use one of the nicest and the chunkiest flush fit door handles to get inside the Kia EV9, and you're treated with a rather grey looking dashboard. Now I personally don't like this color theme, but for the seats they have used a shade of mocha brown and grey, which certainly looks more upmarket. मैं इन स्क्रीन्स की बात करूँ तो आपको 12.3 इंच की 2 डिस्प्लेज मिल जाती हैं। उसी के साथ आपको मिलता है काफ़ी मिनिमलिस्टिक थीम वाला सेंटर कंसोल जो कि डिटैच है, यानी कि आप यहाँ पर भी काफ़ी अच्छा स्पेस यूज़ कर सकते हैं। इस शटर को अगर आप पीछे पुश करेंगे तो आपको 2 कप होल्डर्स मिल जाते हैं जो कि रिट्रैक्टेबल हैं। ये बटन दबा के आप इन्हें बाहर निकाल सकते हैं। वायरलेस फ़ोन चार्जर की बात करी जाए तो वो आपको यहाँ पर मिल जाता है, और फ्रंट आर्मरेस्ट के नीचे भी आपको थोड़ा बहुत स्पेस मिल जाता है। दोनों ही सीट्स हीटेड और वेंटिलेटेड हैं, एंड दे आर पावर एडजस्टेबल एज वेल, एंड दे लुक क्वाइट अप मार्केट। उससे भी अच्छी बात है कि आपको फ्रंट में ऑटोमेंस मिल जाते हैं। येस, यू गेट थाई एक्सटेंडर्स फॉर एडेड सपोर्ट फॉर योर लेग्स। बात करी जाए फीचर्स की तो आपको 64 कलर एम्बिएंट लाइटिंग मिल जाती है, लेवल 2 ADAS मिल जाता है, and everything else that is there on your mind. So while the exteriors of the EV9 looks slightly boring, you might find the interiors very exciting. और उसके लिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ यहाँ पे कुछ एक्साइटिंग चीज़ें, जैसे कि आपको 2 सनरूफ मिल जाती है। जो सेकंड रो सीट्स हैं ये आपको कैप्टन चेयर्स मिलती हैं, और आपको थर्ड रो में भी अच्छा खासा स्पेस मिल जाता है, और तीनों ही रो पावर एडजस्टेबल हैं। जो इसका हेडरेस्ट है वहाँ पर भी आपको काफ़ी अच्छा फंक्शन मिल जाता है टू एडजस्ट द हेडरेस्ट एज पर योर कन्वीनियंस, सो दैट यू कैन हैव अ वेरी कंफर्टेबल जर्नी। And these seats, they are powered, they are heated, they are ventilated, and also on this armrest you get a button to adjust the massage function or even the heating function that you want. अगर स्पेस की बात करी जाए तो फ्लोर एकदम फ्लैट है। इनफैक्ट जो सेंटर कंसोल है ऐसे एक्सटेंड हो जाता है, यहाँ पर भी आप अपना काफ़ी सारा सामान रख सकते हैं।
Toyota Innova Krista to be a little cheap for you, and the likes of Velfire a little on the higher side, presenting the Kia Carnival. It makes a grand re-entry into the Indian market. The 4th generation model costs close to 64 lakh rupees ex-showroom. Yes, you heard it right. A whopping 64 lakh rupees is what Kia is asking for the full-size MPV. अब देखिए सबसे बड़ा जो चेंज है इसके डिज़ाइन में आया है, अब कंपनी इसे थोड़ा एसयूवी बनाने की कोशिश कर रही है। मेक नो मिस्टेक, इट्स अ लॉन्ग कार, इट्स एन एमपीवी, लेकिन जो फेस है यू कैन सी इट्स मोर अपराइट नाउ। ग्रिल का डिज़ाइन काफ़ी चौड़ा बन चुका है, इट्स क्वाइट वाइड, एंड ऊपर जो LED लाइट्स दिए गए हैं, these kind of extend बहुत अंदर तक आते हैं. You also get the camera right in the middle, which means it gets level 2 ADAS and also 360-degree camera. The LED lights really look different, vertically stacked, and the DRLs on top give you that typical Kia effect on the face. 18-inch wheels with this huge profile. I expected probably 19 इंच के अगर wheels यहाँ पे दिए जाते तो और ज़्यादा बॉडी के साथ seamlessly integrate होता. Well, it's a long car और साइड प्रोफाइल में आपको वही स्लाइडिंग डोर्स दिख जाएंगे, which is very characteristic of Carnival. पीछे की ओर बहुत कुछ बदला है. You get connected LED DRL strip. रात को ये काफ़ी अच्छा इफेक्ट देता दिखाई पड़ेगा. Now you only get the 7-seater version now with a Carnival. 2 वेरिएंट्स में इसे भारतीय बाजार में उतारा गया है. If you look on the bottom half, यहाँ पे आपको थोड़ा सा एग्रेसिव स्टाइलिंग दिखेगा to make it look more SUV-ish. और टेल लैम्प का जो डिज़ाइन है, this is more like the headlamp. एक वर्टिकल इफेक्ट देने की कोशिश की गई है. The tailgate is again electric, which is a handy feature at this price point. और यहाँ पे इस वक्त seats are folded, the third row seats are folded. So this is the amount of space on offer with all the rows up. I think this can fit in easily 2 full-size bags and a few other things as well. Let's go inside and tell you how much space is there on offer. दोस्तों हम आ पहुंचे हैं कार्निवल के मिडिल रो सीट्स में which are कैप्टन सीट्स और यहाँ पे ऑटोमन फंक्शन मिलता है, मतलब यू गेट गुड सपोर्ट फॉर द थाइज. रिक्लाइनर ऑप्शन मिलेगा एंड ऑल्सो ये काफ़ी हद तक एडजस्टेबल, इलेक्ट्रिकली एडजस्टेबल सीट है. फ्रंट एंड रियर आप इलेक्ट्रिकली एडजस्ट कर सकते हैं एंड ऑल्सो साइडवेज यू कैन मूव विद दीज मैनुअल कीज. यहाँ पे फीचर्स की बात करें तो यू गेट डुअल पेन सनरूफ, यहाँ पे डेडिकेटेड AC वेंट्स दिए गए हैं. यू गेट armrests and seats are really comfortable out here. If you are looking for a proper people's mover, Carnival is right on top. ये एक ऐसा स्पेस है जो अगर आप 5 फुट 7 इंच से ज़्यादा हैं तो you will not find any discomfort here. It is really spacious. मतलब बहुत सी मिड साइज SUVs में इतना स्पेस मिडिल रो में आता है. मैं आराम से मेरे पैरों को मूव अराउंड कर सकता हूँ. हेडरूम की भी दिक्कत नहीं है. यहाँ पे दोनों साइड क्वार्टर ग्लास दिया गया है, which means लाइट इनटेक केबिन के अंदर अच्छा होगा. Also you get nice amount of cubby holes in the third row. Dedicated AC vents भी दिए गए हैं, लाइट्स भी रखे गए हैं, adjustable headrest भी दिया गया है and you can fit in 3 people with a little bit of squeeze. देखिए 4th जनरेशन मॉडल है लेकिन इंजन में कोई चेंजेस नहीं हुए हैं. वही 2.2 लीटर का डीजल इंजन 8 स्पीड ऑटोमेटिक के साथ बनाता है, लगभग 193 PS और 440 न्यूटन का पीक टॉर्क. स्टिल अ फ्रंट व्हील ड्राइव कार. सो पावर टॉर्क के हिसाब से, इंजन के हिसाब से चेंजेस नहीं हैं. चेंजेस किए गए हैं इसकी सेफ्टी में और लेवल 2 ADAS अब आ चुका है इस गाड़ी के साथ. ऑल्सो अदर स्ट्रक्चरल चेंजेस भी किए गए हैं जिससे के हिसाब से कंपनी बोल रही है दिस इज अ मोर फर्मर, मोर रिजिड कार देन बिफोर. व्हाट हैज चेंज्ड इज द फ्रंट डैशबोर्ड लेआउट. लॉट ऑफ सॉफ्ट टच मटेरियल. यहाँ पे आपको प्रीमियम फिनिश दिख जाएगा. ब्रश्ड एल्युमिनियम इंसर्ट्स दिए गए हैं. देयर इज ऑल्सो अ ग्लॉस ब्लैक पैनल राइट थ्रू द मिडल, लेकिन ये थोड़ा सा ये फिंगरप्रिंट्स अट्रैक्ट करेगा. इन द लॉन्ग रन यू हैव टू ब्रश इट ऑफ टाइम एंड अगेन. What's also new is the amount of connectivity that this car gets now. You have twin 12.3-inch displays. It's slightly curved, more focused towards the driver, and overall this should give a nice feel inside the cabin. Also what has changed is this central tunnel and the layout has been redesigned. You have lots of space. The main central area has got a deep pocket, couple of cup holders. You have one wireless charging tray, good amount of space to play with. The gear switch selector has also changed a little. You have auto hold function, electronic parking brake, and there is good amount of brushed aluminum finish in the central panel. The front seats are powered, electrically adjustable, come with ventilation feature. And look at the cabin and you can see the interior theme has also changed. There is tan brown leather on the fabric and it gets good complexion with a contrast of black here and there. You get Bose speaker, 12 speaker system, and I assume the sound output will also be quite excellent.
आज हम चला रहे हैं BMW की CE02, BMW की सेकंड इलेक्ट्रिक स्कूटर आफ्टर द CO4. कि इसमें एक 4 किलोवाट आवर का बैटरी लगता है और इसकी जो रेंज है 108 किलोमीटर्स की है फुल चार्ज पे.
और टॉप स्पीड है 95 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर की, और साथ ही में इसका जो वेट है वो है 145 किलोग्राम्स का, जहाँ ज़्यादा हल्की नहीं है, थोड़ी भारी सी है, लेकिन इसका जो सीट हाइट है काफ़ी एक्सेसिबल है, 745 mm का। तो आप देखिए बहुत ही एक्सेसिबल सीट हाइट है और अपराइट सीटिंग स्टांस है। और हमने इसे गुड़गांव के ट्रैफिक में चलाया, पीक ट्रैफिक में जो मॉर्निंग रश आवर होता है, और उसमें जो स्कूटर की फ्लिकेबिलिटी है, जो हैंडलिंग है, काफ़ी एजाइल है, काफ़ी निम्बल महसूस होती है। और साथ ही में इसका जो डिज़ाइन है बहुत ही ज़्यादा क्वर्की है। मैं क्या ही बताऊँ आपको, बिकॉज़ मैं स्कूटर चला रहा था और लोगों ने इस पर अपनी नज़र गढ़ाए रखी थी, बिकॉज़ आप देखिए बहुत ही यूथफुल प्लेफुल सा एक डिज़ाइन है, बहुत ही फ्रेश डिज़ाइन है। बड़े बड़े टायर्स आगे पीछे दिए गए हैं, यहाँ पे एक सिंगल साइडेड स्विंग आर्म है, ये पूरा टायर का लुक बड़ा प्रीमियम लगता है। और साथ ही में आगे आप देखेंगे तो टेलीस्कोपिक फोक अपसाइड डाउन दिए गए हैं गोल्डन कलर के साथ, तो बहुत प्रीमियम फील देता है। और यहाँ पे अगर आप देखेंगे तो यहाँ पे एक है छोटा सा 3.5 इंच का TFT स्क्रीन, अभी बंद है, बट अदरवाइज़ स्कूटर में 3 राइडिंग मोड्स दिए गए हैं, सर्फ, फ्लो और फ्लैश। फ्लैश जो है हाईलाइन पैकेज के साथ आता है, वो ऑप्शनल एक्स्ट्रा रह गए स्कूटर पे। और साथ ही में इसका जो राइडिंग पोजीशन हमको बताया बहुत ही अपराइट है, कूल है, लेकिन इसका जो 0 to 50 किलोमीटर्स पर आवर का स्प्रिंट टाइम है वो 3 सेकंड से कम है। तो अगर आप ट्रैफिक में हैं और आपको क्विक ओवरटेक करना है तो आपको कोई दिक्कत आने वाली है नहीं। और ओवरऑल इसका जो परफॉर्मेंस है बहुत ही बढ़िया है, जो आपको इनिशियल टॉर्क का सर्ज मिलते हैं काबिल तारीफ़ है। तो आप ट्रैफिक में सबको पीछे ज़रूर छोड़ देंगे। और अगर इसके राइड क्वालिटी की बात करें, थोड़ी सी स्टिफ है, बट ओवरऑल इसकी राइड क्वालिटी कंफर्टेबल है। सीट अपने आप में आपको लगेगा कि बहुत पतली सी है, ज़्यादा कुशनिंग है नहीं, बट सीट एक्चुअली में काफ़ी कंफर्टेबल है, आप इस पर लंबे आवर्स गुजार सकते हैं। जैसा कि आपको बताया कि क्लेम्ड जो रेंज है 108 किलोमीटर्स की है, लेकिन आप इसको ट्रैफिक में चलाएंगे तो आपको रियल वर्ल्ड रेंज करीब 80 किलोमीटर्स की मिल जाएगी, 80 to 85 किलोमीटर्स की। और इसके चार्जिंग टाइम की बात करते हैं तो जो स्टैंडर्ड चार्जिंग टाइम है वो करीब 5 घंटे का है। अगर आपके पास 1.5 किलोवाट का जो फास्ट चार्जर है वो आप इसे यूज़ करते हो तो 3.5 घंटे करीब लग जाएगा चार्ज होने में। फ्रॉम 0 to 100, 10 to 80% का जो चार्जिंग टाइम है वो थोड़ा सा और ड्रॉप कर जाता है, वो ज़्यादा तेज़ है। एंड येस, हमें ओवरऑल ये स्कूटर बड़ा पसंद आया। और ये मैन्युफैक्चर होता है इंडिया में, TVS इसे मैन्युफैक्चर करती है लोकली अपने प्लांट में, होसूर में।
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaking and exclusive news from around the world and more. Download the NDTV app today and get access to the best journalism and storytelling on your smartphone or tablet. The NDTV app. News that matters to you.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
कि जिसकी सरकार सेंटर में हुई है उसी की सरकार प्रदेश में होती है।
एंटी इनकम्बेंसी को कैसे देख रहे हैं? इनकम्बेंसी नहीं है,
प्रो इनकम्बेंसी।
कांग्रेस आ रही है, भाजपा जा रही है।
Congress is going to form the government in Haryana with a big majority.
New day, new show, a new experience.
Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your life.
News that informs and keeps you ahead. From Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of power, Delhi,
NDTV brings you the best breakfast show. Breakfast news on NDTV, 8 a.m. every day.
Stay informed and entertained with the new and updated NDTV News app. You can watch all our channels live, listen to podcasts, read breaks.
If retro is something that you like in your garage, I have an option for you today. मिलिए नई नवेली BS स्टार 650 से जो सीधा टक्कर देती है रॉयल एनफील्ड इंटरसेप्टर और सुपर मीटियोर जैसी मोटरसाइकिल्स को। कीमत शुरू होती है 3 लाख रुपए एक शोरूम। मोटरसाइकिल बड़ी है, भारी है, लेकिन इसका सिंगल सिलेंडर इंजन चलाने में मजेदार और बेहद पावरफुल। फ्रंट में सर्कुलर हेडलैम्प्स दिए गए हैं, हैलोजन में फिनिश है। पीछे के टेल लैम्प्स भी यहाँ पे हैलोजन आपको मिल जाएंगे। 18 इंच फ्रंट व्हील, 17 इंच रियर और ये स्पोक रिम्स का इस्तेमाल कर रही है कंपनी, जो मुझे लगता है इज अ बिट ऑफ अ मिस, क्योंकि एक एलॉय का वेरिएंट कंपनी कंसिडर कर सकती थी। पेंट फिनिश अच्छी क्वालिटी की है, बहुत सारे कलर ऑप्शंस मिल जाएंगे। जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट कंसोल है बड़ा ही बेसिक सा दिया गया है। थोड़े लूज केबल सामने की ओर ज़्यादा दिखाई पड़ेंगे, लेकिन फिर मोटरसाइकिल के बीचों बीच आएंगे तो इसका जो इंजन एरिया है कंप्लीटली ब्लैक्ड आउट और इस पे बहुत सारा आपको एनोडाइज्ड पार्ट दिख जाएगा। मोटरसाइकिल की जो सीट हाइट है ये 780 मिलीमीटर से थोड़ी सी ऊपर है। मेरी हाइट 5 फुट 8 इंच और मैं काफ़ी आराम से इस पे सवार हो सकता हूँ। कंफर्टेबल सीटिंग पोजीशन, लोअर हाफ थोड़ा सा एग्रेसिव फील होता है। मैं हैंडल बार्स की ओर काफ़ी वाइडली रीच आउट करता हूँ। सीट की लंबाई, सीट की कुशनिंग भी अच्छी खासी है। 2 USB चार्जिंग पोर्ट सामने दिए गए हैं, एक A टाइप एक C टाइप। अब रॉयल एनफील्ड ट्विंस के मुकाबले जो सबसे बड़ा डिफरेंस आपको यहाँ दिखेगा वो है सिंगल सिलेंडर का 652 सीसी का इंजन, जो एक लिक्विड कूल्ड इंजन है, DOHC इंजन है, बनाता है 45 PS 55 न्यूटन मीटर। एक बार इसका आप थंप सुन लीजिए। क्वाइट बेसी है ना। अब टॉर्क जो है आपको अच्छा खासा मिल जाएगा, लगभग 3000 RPM से। आप किसी भी गियर पे थ्रॉटल ट्विस्ट कीजिए, ओवरटेकिंग कम्स वेरी नेचुरल। मैं यही कहना चाहूँगा कि काफ़ी लेड बैक है इसका ओवरऑल इंजन परफॉर्मेंस, लेकिन पावर अच्छा मिल जाता है। आप 4th गियर पे 100 की स्पीड 110 की स्पीड पे क्रूज कर सकते हैं। 5 गियर का यहाँ पे ऑप्शन दिया गया है। 5th गियर पे 140 145 तक भी आप जा सकते हैं अगर आपको फ्लैट आउट स्ट्रेट मिल जाता है। लेकिन शहरी ट्रैफिक में इंजन ज़रूर हीट छोड़ता है, जो आपको थोड़ा डिस्टर्ब करेगा। आपके पैरों के बीच या फिर टैंक एरिया में थोड़ा ज़्यादा ही हीट उत्पन्न होता है, जो आपको अनकंफर्टेबल बना सकता है। वहीं बम्पर टू बम्पर ट्रैफिक में आपको वाइब्रेशंस भी फील होंगे। वेट इज स्लाइटली ऑन द हायर साइड, 200 किलो से ज़्यादा इसका कर्ब वेट है और ये फील होता है स्लो मूविंग ट्रैफिक में। जब आप पार्किंग लॉट से इसे निकालते हैं आपको फील होगा ओवरऑल जो मोटरसाइकिल का वज़न है it's not light by any means. भारत में एंट्री हुई है महिंद्रा के हाथ से, क्लासिक लेजेंड के छत्र छाया में इसे बेचा जा रहा है, जहां यजदी और जावा की मोटरसाइकिल्स भी बिकती हैं। तो कंपनी कुछ ऐसी है, तो अगर आप मन बना रहे हैं, सोच रहे हैं कंपनी नहीं है, तो यहाँ पे आपको महिंद्रा का भरोसा ज़रूर मिलेगा, महिंद्रा की बैकिंग दिख जाएगी। राइड क्वालिटी की बात करें तो हाई स्पीड पे थोड़ी सी बम्पी लगती है, स्पेशली जो पीछे वाला हिस्सा है इसका, जो ट्विन कॉइल सस्पेंशन, ये थोड़ा सा ही मुझे आउट ऑफ सॉर्ट्स लग रहा है, लेकिन दीज आर एडजस्टेबल। मेरी कदकाठी के हिसाब से आई एम अराउंड 80 किलोज, मुझे थोड़ी सी ज़्यादा ही बम्पी लग रही है। यू कैन प्ले अराउंड विद द सस्पेंशन। फ्रंट में ज़्यादा सॉर्टेड मामला है, टेलीस्कोपिक सस्पेंशन दिए गए हैं। इनकी जो राइड क्वालिटी है ये मुझे बेहतर लग रही है दैन द बैक। ब्रेकिंग काफ़ी बेहतरीन है, ब्रेम्बो के ब्रेक्स दिए जा रहे हैं और ओवरऑल वेट के हिसाब से मुझे स्टॉपिंग पावर अच्छी लग रही है। द ओनली इक्विपमेंट यू गेट हियर इज द डुअल चैनल ABS, अच्छा परफॉर्मेंस है, और इंजन के साथ दिया जा रहा है स्लिपर क्लच।
Affordable, accessible and ready to take on Royal Enfield at its own game, the Triumph Speed T4 is meant for those who want a relaxed ride, relatively speaking. But what are the changes compared to the Speed 400, and does the Speed T4 have what it takes to knock off Royal Enfield off its perch? Well, that's what we're about to find out in this video. To start off, the engine has the same displacement but makes 31 horsepower at 7000 RPM along with peak torque output of 36 Newton meters at 5000 RPM. In comparison, the Speed 400 makes 40 horsepower and 37.5 Newton meters at about 1000 to 1500 revs higher. So the torque kicks in lower, and thanks to a 39 tooth sprocket at the rear compared to the 43 on the Speed 400, the rideability is now relaxed and less hurried. Well, this means that there's a lot more grunt in the bottom end and the mid-range, with the magic happening between 2500 to 5000 RPM. The Speed T4 is happiest at speeds of between 65 to 85 kilometers per hour, and the tractability on the engine goes up by a couple of notches, which means lesser gear shifts in the city. Triumph says that there is a minimal difference in terms of acceleration and top speed. The Speed T4 does the 0 to 60 km per hour sprint in 3.3 seconds, which is just 0.3 seconds less than the Speed 400, and the top speed drops from 145 km per hour on the 400 to 135 km per hour on the T4. There are a few other changes as well. The T4 now gets a manual and smaller throttle bodies instead of ride-by-wire, and the traction control is given a miss as well. The motorcycle continues to get a slipper clutch, and the gearbox operation is smooth. In the real world, these changes help lower the cost along with offering a different riding experience. Well, the next set of changes is quite important too, because out goes the upside down fork and in comes a regular 43mm telescopic fork. The monoshock at the rear stays the same, and the suspension travel at both ends is about 130mm. The travel at the rear goes down by 10mm, but the state of tune of the suspension is comfort oriented. Also, the ride becomes a touch plusher because of the new MRF Nylogrip Zapper tires, which have a thicker aspect ratio. The seat height isn't too tall at 805mm, and thanks to the new design, it is comfy too. The weight of the bike too is 180 kg, which is just a kg more than the 2025 Speed 400. The good news is the ground clearance of the T4 goes up to 170mm as compared to 158mm on the old Speed 400. Other changes include a hydroformed steel handlebar instead of an aluminium unit on the Speed 400, and a variety of parts such as the exhaust have been blacked out to give the bike a youthful and sporty appeal. Lastly, the Speed T4 gets stem rear view mirrors instead of the bar end mirrors. In terms of handling, the Speed T4 isn't as sharp and as agile as the Speed 400. That's because the motorcycle gets a slightly longer wheelbase and the steering geometry is slightly different too. But filtering through traffic is quite easy, and if you tip this motorcycle into a corner, you're not going to feel any difference, provided you already have a point of reference. If not, it doesn't make any difference in the real world riding conditions. And if you talk about the braking of the motorcycle, well, the bike sheds speed quite nicely and in a progressive manner, despite the fact that the motorcycle gets organic brake pads and not sintered brake pads, and axial calipers instead of radial calipers on the Speed 400. The other big difference is the fact that the fuel efficiency goes up from 26 kmpl on the Speed 400 to 30 kmpl on the Speed T4. And the other highlight is the fact that this motorcycle sounds different than the Speed 400. Let's listen to the exhaust note. Well, the exhaust note on the Speed T4 has more bass and has a burbly character to it, which I quite like, better than that of the Speed 400.
I don't care for no songs and proses. I don't care for no sweet boys with roses. All I want is a touch of love.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
India's IT capital is always buzz. It's literally a city that never sleeps. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.